Do you see
No,
me or is
no,
mine
I
still?
don't see
No,
you.
turn it on and off again
Yeah,
a couple
turn it
times
on,
maybe.
Off and on.
Zine,
Anybody
can
got
you
a
turn
good
your mic
anybody got
up?
a good
There you go.
website I can do for the
There
you go.
Nintendo news?
I like how it looks like
All
it's
right, I'll be right
orange in
back.
here, but it's like
Actually, I got a
Right
Eurogamer
AF.
one. It should work.
Is that good?
Eurogamer
Can you
link.
hear me?
Oh, I had a dang it. I haven't thought of anything for Hutter's. My day's been very full. I did.
But you
Oh
found
no, I
the-
do have.
You
a
found
hot.
time.
I do have a hot.
You
Yeah.
did
Well,
find
for
time
the first
to,
time
you know,
ever, Zane's gonna be more prepared than Robbie. This will be good. This will be fun.
I found time to what, Mark?
Suck it.
make a video.
I did on my lunch break.
Wait, are we live already? We
That's
just went
so
live.
weird.
Wait, what?
I had half an hour in the middle of the day and I made a video. It's like
We need to make sure that we like start right at 9. So 4 minutes, guys.
Look at all these beautiful faces.
Yeah, we will not do the Mandalorian season 2. You freaks. I watched that. I watched that this evening, and I was like, "This is a prank. They're totally playing me right now.
This can't be real.
Somebody's messing with
for
me.
it?
It wouldn't be
Nice.
beneath this group. It would not be beneath this group to do that."
For shame.
Hold on.
oh, what's up, PJ Mask?
Oh, you got PJ Masks?
What's up, dog?
It's me, Catboy.
PJ Masks, PJ Masks, PJ Masks, PJ Masks.
My epic
PJ
fail
Masks!
of a wall could not hold up my poster last time, so I'm just.
That was great. Those clips you got of you and you
That was-
and,
that was
really-
freaking out.
Jarrett is just frozen on PJ Masks right now.
Yeah, I think that's gonna. That's just Jarrett.
Discord chews my internet. Skype doesn't.
We could try. Well, I mean, it's too late now, but next time we could try like Zoom, maybe. I don't know. Does anybody have a pro account?
I do.
You do?
What?
Of course, we
Zoom.
know, Max. You didn't even have to say anything.
Of course.
Zane, turn your mic up.
It's for Young Life. Why am I getting mocked?
We know.
We have
Forget
to.
it. Sorry.
We have to.
Yeah, sorry. I've got it for my job. Yeah, screw me, right?
We know you lived in Spain.
Yeah, no.
okay?
You're
We
right.
get it.
You're right. You're right. Right.
You're right. Ha 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 ha.
right. I do that.
How's that?
A little better.
You got 1 minute,
Still
1.5
can't see.
minutes.
I still can't see Zane or Mark.
Really? I can see him. That's all that really
No.
matters, I guess.
I can see everybody. Jarrett is still frozen.
Jarrett is still
Jarrett's
frozen.
not frozen on mine. That's what I guess.
That is a
Oh,
fantastic
gee,
picture.
He just left. He was good, and then he's gone.
You can still hear him though,
Wonderful.
right?
Welcome to
Yeah,
us.
sure.
Can you guys hear me?
I think so.
The
Yeah,
excellent
we still hear him.
stand-up, the great one himself, the Burger King.
Oh yeah, when I went to
No,
back to small screen, back to full screen. Now he's like those 2 dots.
Wow.
Isaac, you just let me know when we're good to go, buddy.
Okay. Mark's Mark is on Twitch. He said our audio's been live this whole time. Sweet. Love that.
Perfect.
Good thing we haven't said anything bad about Mark.
Who?
I mean,
Mark Jones or
no, Mark from GMG.
Oh, gotcha.
Infinity Bros. We're pros.
That was
Yeah,
it.
super
I mean,
smooth, dude.
Hey, we
Real
know what
professional
we know what we're
guy.
doing.
Yeah, we
This
totally
is
know what
awesome
we're
because
doing.
like people get to see what it's like behind the scenes when we make this. So they're like, man, I'll tell you what, Max.
They get to
Just a hot
watch me make my
Every-
top 5 lists while we're sitting here.
It's like we're behind the curtain at Oz, but like Oz is just an absolute mess.
I love it. Zane for the first time. Zane for the first time
Coming
ever
out of
is
the
prepped for
machines
the
and-
show. It's great.
For the
It's like a
first
mess, but there's Zayn at like a
For the
clean
first
desk writing
time in forever.
because he's always prepared.
We also can't talk over each other because this is still a podcast, people.
Did you put it on the Google Drive,
Shut up,
Max?
Max.
Lower your voice.
I put everything in the
Shut
Google
up,
Drive in
Max.
the small clips.
Okay.
You've censored me for
Short
too
clips.
long, Max. Now I am.
You can't censor him. You can't censor him at all.
I will
Is it okay
say
to drink
that is
cold
like
hot
one of the
water
best
in the
parts. Is
middle
like
of
I
podcast?
have censored a lot of things said by you guys about me in particular. That I'm like, oh, that's like horrible. I'm not letting you say that about me. And
Oh my
Mark
Now it's all
Mark
gonna
just gets
fly.
to sit in the forest and say whatever he pleases, whatever is in his part.
Why am I struggling to come up with fictional characters I love?
That was so.
Dude,
How is
That is
Jarrett
so
not on your
fucking
list?
Yeah.
Dude, good question.
Number 1 and 2 should be in any order you choose. Me and Zane's wife.
Dang.
Brilliant.
Wow.
Bang 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 bang. Okay, are we going here? It's 9:01.
All right.
Let's
yeah.
go.
All right. Let's do this,
I
boys.
mean, technically, we've been going.
You ready?
the whole time.
I'm gonna
We've been
see if I
going.
can pull this stuff up
Can we
here.
pump up Zane though? I can barely hear him.
Yeah, I can't hear you either,
Isaac,
Zane.
when you edit it, just very small, maybe we'll figure it out. We'll talk about it on the back end.
Or lower Zane a little bit. It's too loud. Lower.
I was just
Also,
saying,
I don't
my
think
input is
I
max.
definitely can't see chat.
I can see
So you're
chat.
gonna have to, you're gonna have to give us a heads up.
Matt Crumbly says, "Guys, I can't stay long. I'm an old man and go to bed early, but I love you all 3,000. Hope the show is a blast. Thanks, man."
Yeah.
How old is old man?
That's a good question.
How is-
Yeah,
how
is
is
he
that
like
with
us,
Barry?
old man, or
Talk this close to my microphone all the time.
you
Yeah,
might
get
have
him
to
real-
because
That
I
would be
can't-
better because I
can't
can actually
you.
hear you, Zane.
Can you guys hear me? I'm so far away from my mic.
Yeah, dude. No,
I can hear you.
I don't
Yeah, you're
get
great.
how-
Zane is the only one that's quiet
I
for
don't
me.
get that. I'm way closer to my mic than you.
Okay, I'm like super far. Like you see my mic, it's right
How
here,
it works.
and I'm right here.
Max, I brought Robbie's chair with me.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, you can go see Robbie in St. Cloud, but not me in Fargo.
All right,
Okay.
guys, are you ready for the Infinity Bros podcast? Here we go. Welcome to the live episode of the Infinity Bros podcast. Max, I'll let you take over now because you're the actual host of our podcast. The music is
Yeah, I
going
can't
right
hear
now. I
any
know
of
you
the
can't hear
I
it.
was gonna
but
say I can't hear any of the bumpers, but
the music is
Welcome to
going
the
right
Infinity
now,
Bros.
so go for it.
can I go?
Yeah, go for it.
Welcome to the Infinity Bros podcast, the only podcast that is perfectly balanced. It's all things should be here on a live episode with you today. We're so excited to see you and hear you wherever you're listening, however you're listening. Thanks for making us part of your Friday night. There's a lot of things you could be doing, but if you're listening and watching us, you don't do any of those things, clearly. So thank you for making us part of your day. As always, you can check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We've got a lot of bros to introduce you today. This might be your first time seeing them. We'll start with my arch nemesis, the person that I'm fearful of. Will he embarrass me today because I can't edit him out? Mark Jones. Mark, how are you?
You gosh darn tootin', I'm gonna embarrass you tonight, Max. I've been waiting 49 episodes for this, and the Infinity Bros are gonna know. Glad to be here. And the Infinity Bros universe.
Low censorship.
I am glad that your noise suppression is working, though. Your noise suppression is clearly working because when you stop talking, it just goes completely silent. I like that. Speaking of guys that I wish would stay silent, Zane Ellis. Zane, how are you?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you doing?
Good. You are really giving off some creepy killer vibes tonight in the complete dark in an all black outfit. Talk to us.
That's what I was going for. You know, it's Halloween's coming up. I'm just getting ready.
I feel like we're on a very low budget Blumhouse movie where you're going to get taken away and then each of us is going to get picked away as the night goes on.
Maybe I can neither confirm nor deny this.
Well, that's fine. That's okay. The person that is the most safe here because he's not really real, he's just a simulation straight from his computer, is Jarrett Curtis. Jarrett, how are you?
Hey guys, I'm doing great. I seem to have lost my Catboy glasses, so for the time being, you get to see this.
Glorious.
You know,
Great.
Jarrett,
Sorry.
I
really
will say,
sad.
Jarrett, one thing about this show that has been really frustrating for me is when, we started to become really good friends a few years ago. I was like, well, finally, I have somebody who can't really grow facial hair as a friend, so we'll be in this battle together. And nope, you actually can grow facial hair. We're learning, and so I am the baby face
Not
out of all
well.
of us. So
Not well, but yeah.
it looks better than it looks a lot better than anything I would make.
Well, thank you.
Yeah,
That's
good
good.
enough.
at least you can rock a good mustache. Max can't even do a mustache.
It's like the Green Arrow.
accurate.
I mean, it does take
Pathetic.
a little skill to
Agreed,
rock a
agreed.
good mustache, so you know.
Yeah.
But Jared
Speaking
does
of
rock
great
it.
facial hair, we've got Robbie Sauter. Robbie, welcome. You're back from the best background of the Infinity Bros podcast. We get to see it
Hi,
every
everyone.
week, but our fans finally get to see it. Welcome, Robbie.
I even like turned my chair so you could see more of it. So I hope people enjoy my background. And this isn't fake. This is real. See, I can move my arms and nothing happens. It's really cool.
And
I'm proud
when
of
you
it.
turn your chair, we don't get a crazy squeak.
Right? It's a big deal.
It's smooth. I like it. Yeah, very
Mhm.
smooth. I
Very
really
smooth.
like it. And finally, the man behind the curtain, revealing to you all that Oz is indeed a mess. Isaac Edlund. Isaac, how are you?
Yes, my room is a mess. I went the other way. See, oh, there we go. It's a mess. Okay. Yeah, I'm doing great. I'm super pumped to hang out with everybody. I think I actually got the squeaky chair energy from Robbie because my chair, like during the last episode, I noticed that it
gosh,
was like
ugh.
squeaky, and I was like, "What? What?
Ugh.
I thought I was the one that
Ugh.
didn't have squeaky chair." But here I am. Now I've got the squeaky
Ugh.
chair. Hey,
Gross.
so thank you guys. I'm sorry I'm interrupting. There's going to be a little bit of interruptions just because we're going to try to interact with chat as much as we can. There's so many people hanging out right now, and that's so awesome. Thank you all so much for hanging out. So we've got Scott Higa with us. We've got Mark Boucher. We've got Lucas Ham Swisher. We've got Matt Crumbly. We've got the Co-op Trio podcast. We've got No Chill Penguin. Man, thank you guys all for hanging out with us. We are so pumped that we get to do this live episode. Lucas is wondering if we're going to get a top 5 list within a top 5 list within a top 5 list from Robbie tonight. Like a top 5ception, perhaps.
Yeah, for sure.
Top 5 honorable
You know.
I'm
mentions.
still working on my top 5 list, so maybe I'll just make another top 5 list while I'm working on my top 5
Oh,
list.
there you go.
Just-
Super top.
This
So
is
five.
kind
this
of on
top
my-
5 will start in the hot and snot.
Well, you don't know when it's going to start. That's the fun of it.
It's like a surprise.
That's
top
half the
5.
fun for Robbie.
Yeah. You're just gonna pounce on us at some point.
Lucas is kind of on my bad list though, Isaac, because like he's been really going guns hot at people who like Kingdom Hearts the other day, and I'm not
really
here for that
did,
energy
yeah.
right now.
That
So
is- yeah, I
Lucas, you
mean,
need to chill out tonight with that because that's a bunch of garbage.
Good point.
Bunch of gabbage.
Gabbage.
Bunch of garbage.
Don't come
We
at
got a
me,
really
Mickey
busy
Mouse.
show tonight. We are going to be talking about The Boys, season 4. Just real quick before we get into that, how many of us have caught up on all 4 episodes? Zane, I have, and you
Yes.
have.
I
Who
watched
else?
3.
Mark has.
I'm up to.
Okay.
I watched
4.
all
haven't
3 when they
watched 4
came
yet.
out. Yeah.
Oh my
The
gosh.
wife and I watched 4 this morning.
Okay, Mark,
time to
I
get live.
have to give you props that you're watching it with your wife because there's absolutely no way that my wife would have come anywhere near this show. She would
I think-
absolutely despise it.
I think when it comes to pop culture, I truly lucked out with my beautiful wife Kelly because she is like upset at me when, you know, I get her addicted to like the shows like The Boys or Umbrella Academy, like stuff like that, and like there isn't more of it. It's like it's my fault there isn't a season 3 of The Boys or a season 3 of Umbrella Academy right now. It's like it's not my fault.
How dare
So
you?
Right.
Mm.
Jared, how
I've
many
been
episodes
blessed.
have you watched?
I haven't watched any of season 2 yet. I'm just
Wow.
part of it is like I don't want to start it and not be able to binge the whole thing. The other part
That's
of it
true.
is I just have not had time.
That's fair.
Right,
Comics
that makes sense.
and the Cross. Thank you so much for the host. Appreciate
Ugh.
you guys. Comics is
We love those
with
guys.
us. Woo! And Ashley
We're gonna
is
talk-
with us as well. Thanks, Ashley.
Ashley, what's up? Hey, so we're gonna talk about The Boys. We're gonna talk about Xbox, Mario Brothers 35th anniversary. We're gonna do some giveaways. You're gonna get a classic. Isaac is going to do a get to know the Infinity Bros game for you guys this time around. You're gonna get to play. We will do our classic hot or snot that most of us have
Classic.
prepared for. You'll be able to figure out who
Classic.
didn't prepare for it based on the length. And that's a little peek behind the
Robbie.
curtain too. If somebody has a short hot or snot, that's typically meaning they did not plan for hot or snot. And I can't tell you how many
I
guests
would
we've had on
argue
this
that.
show that didn't bring anything to hot or snot. It's hilarious. We
fine.
do it every episode. Go ahead, Mark.
Come on,
I
Cole.
mean, okay, with guests maybe, but like I've definitely had hot or snot weeks where it's like there was nothing really bad I wanted to crap on, but only like a few things that like I liked, like 2 things. Like you,
No,
you
I'm-
always have an opinion on good or bad stuff.
Well,
Preach.
Mark, but I think
So
the
you're
difference with
loaded up.
you and what I'm saying with other people is you
Are
will
you taking a
have
specific shot at someone? Is that like
Yeah,
what
who-
I'm not getting?
Who are you calling out right
Like,
now?
No. I'm calling out pretty much everybody because I think everybody here has done it at one point or another. But I definitely know that we've had some guests that have done
Are
this
we
as
breaking
well.
up? Are we
I
breaking
think-
up right now? Are you breaking up with us? Is
No,
that
the
what's
man is
happening?
breaking
Episode
up
50,
tonight.
the end of the Infinity
Max
Bros.
just
I don't know.
Max just
50th
secedes from the
50th
Infinity Bros and
final
makes the
episode.
Infinity Bro podcast.
This is my announcement of a new
We sue him.
podcast.
We sue him.
Zane leaves the chat with me. Zane is making the show with me. We did
Are
it
you-
behind the scenes.
Good luck with
Your
Zane.
NW.
The lights
NWO.
go in and Zane and I are in the same room. It's beautiful.
That would be nuts.
And then at the end we're
Smarty.
gonna do our top 5. Can I do
Sorry, my
the
bad.
bit here? You want me to host? Let me do the bit.
Alive though.
We're going to do our top 5 fictional characters if you can understand what we're saying when we're all talking at the same time. And then I guess Isaac has giveaway number 3. I don't know what the details of that are, of this or that. This is kind of Isaac's rodeo. So if it's convoluted, please just send your complaints to Zane Ellis. You can follow him. Zane, you want to plug your Twitter
Oh.
account
That's-
real quick for
that's
them,
where it should be.
so they can complain to you.
me.
I don't know. I
Send
just wanted to.
complaints to Isaac.
Nah, send it to
Well,
Zane.
that's
why
fine.
Why would they send the complaints to me when me and
Makes
you are gonna
sense.
go make our own podcast, Max?
That's a good point. That's a good point. Yeah, we're gonna make it with. Yeah.
Hey, one question. When do you think was the last time Zane ever checked an email?
Every day at work. Try again.
Just
try
one.
I was gonna say
Uh,
it was a
Personal
definitely
email.
Personal email.
What's a personal email? I thought
Zane
those
has
things are
just this
used to log
huge
into
list.
things.
Zane has this huge list from GameStop of emails they've been sending him. And now the emails are like, sorry, we're shutting down. We really love you. We wish you would come to the store more. But now they're not. Before we get into talking about things we want to talk about, we want to make sure that you are familiar with our rating system. Isaac, do you have the bumper ready?
I do have the bumper ready, so we're gonna play the bumper, and this is how we rate things here on the Infinity Bros podcast. If I can actually get it up and running here, it was up, it was ready, and now
Here
it's
on the
not.
Infinity Bros podcast, we like to rate things from 1 to 6 stones. 1 being the lowest,
mean,
6 being the
that's
top.
early. Oh, there it goes.
If we get all Infinity Bros to give a 6,
0 meaning horrible, 6 meaning absolutely excellent. If all of the
Just trying to
Infinity
fill
Bros
dead
rate
air.
something
You
a
know, ask me,
6,
right?
it gets an infinity step.
See,
Yeah.
you weren't too far off, honestly. Like you did a really good
It
job with
rates
that.
everything from a 0 to 6-point scale.
That was
That's
awesome.
I know.
every single word.
Okay,
The best is,
guys.
like,
Okay, we
when
gotta pause
I've
though
been-
first before we move
Okay.
on. We just had 3 people subscribe to our channel right now, and we have a hype train
I
going.
can't say I blame them.
We
I
What?
can't
Hey,
say I
can we
blame
this is
start
the
them.
doing that
first
coin
ever
stuff
hype
where, like,
train
if
that
they
we've
give us
got
50
going
bucks,
for
we
the
take something
Infinity
off?
Bros Twitch
Whatever.
channel.
Did these people hit the wrong button? On
They might have.
accident?
It's honestly, it could be
stumbled
very
onto
true
this.
that they accidentally subscribed. I know I do that all the time to people. No, I'm just kidding. But
I feel like-
Ashley,
The subscriptions. Every time somebody subscribes, it should be Ben from Parks and Rec going, yes,
Yeah.
yes, from Game.
okay, I'll
Yes.
work on that. I'll work on that. Oh,
You actually should figure that out because that'd be funny with
that would be
Zane's face on it.
hilarious. I'm in. So
Or
okay.
Jared's face.
My lady.
Start at the beginning. Co-op trio. Thank you guys for the sub. Ashley resub. Thank you for the sub. Mark Boucher sub. Thank you for the sub, Mark. And then Ashley gifted a sub to Matt Crumbly, who is a
Oh.
well-deserved person to get that
Matt's our
sub.
boy.
So that is awesome. Thank you so much, Ashley, Co-op, and Mark. You guys are awesome. So let's go ahead and dive into the nerd news. Huh? What do you guys say?
Let's do it. Let's talk about the boys here. So for those that do not, we don't have a bumper for nerd news yet. What would you want the bumper to be, Mark? You sound
That
like you
was
really want a nerd
exactly
Nerd
what
news.
he just
It's
did.
Nerd news. It's nerd news for you.
That's it.
There.
There you go. We got our new bumper.
and clip it. There it is. Brilliant. That's brilliant. The Boys. If you don't know what The Boys is and live under a rock, it is on Amazon Prime. A group of vigilantes set out to take down corrupt superheroes who abuse their superpowers. It is an action comedy crime drama. And this one got some really high rankings on our end, I think. We'll talk about those in a bit, but it stars Carl Urban, Jack Quaid, Anthony Starr, Aaron Moriarty, who has just been a standout in season 2 already to me. I really have liked her work, and I think she's done a really great job. Jesse T. Usher, Laz Alonso, Chase Crawford, Tomer Capone, and Karen Fukuhara. I won't go through the whole list. There's a lot of others, but this season in particular, Zane, I know you and myself and Mark have watched through 4 episodes. Real quick, can we just give everybody's quick rating of season 1 for our audience at home? I'm going to give it a 6 out of 6. Mark, what about you?
6 out of 6.
Isaac?
6 out of 6, absolutely.
Robbie?
It's a 6.
Jarrett?
I'm gonna give it a 5.5 out of 6, just because I want to be able to watch
I will
TV shows.
drive out there.
I want to be able to watch TV shows with my family, and I'm not gonna
That's
be
how
like,
you
"Hey,
get beat up, Jarrett.
Edgy.
Yeah. Zane, I'm assuming you're a 6.
This is a 6, and I don't know what Jarrett's talking about. This is a very
Jarrett.
family-friendly show.
Yeah.
I watch
Please
with my
don't
son,
watch this with
like,
your
every
family.
day.
Well, and I think that is important
Grayson loves The Boys.
important for our audience to know about this show. Like there are some shows that we've talked about that I think if you listen to our show, we're coming from a little more of a family friendly perspective if Mark is not on the episode. And
I'll
it's
allow it.
really been and I think season 1 is kind of like it's like a sweet and sour patch kid commercial. It's super sour at first, but then it just gets so sweet on the back end. And that first season, lots of 6s here. Jarrett, we're gonna have to have a hard conversation with him offline about not giving away Infinity Snaps that easily, but it is what it is. Zane, you and Mark have really dived into these 4 episodes. Talk with our audience at home. What is sticking out to you about this season, and how are you feeling so far through 4 episodes? Zane, let's start with you.
I'm feeling pretty good so far about it. Like, it's jumped right into it, right what I expected. It just didn't really miss a beat at all from season 1. And yeah, it's slowly kind of getting things ramped up. You're kind of getting that slow burn, and especially after episode 4. At first I wasn't a fan of like the weekly release on episodes, but I think I'm going to get behind it more because it's going to give more time to digest and like work through things.
Mark, what about you?
Yeah, I definitely wasn't let's give it a 1-star rating like Zane was in the beginning
That wasn't me.
on Amazon, but I get that we've been conditioned to just have streaming services dump all the episodes on us. But yeah, I like the anticipations being built on the delivery, so you're not just like being able to binge it all and not really process everything. But I like how they're kind of with the 7 dehumanizing some of them, like they're losing their humanity in a sense, but then some are gaining. And I'm really excited to see what they do with Black Noir. Like, is he falling apart, or is he gonna end up joining the boys? That's where I've never read the comics, so I don't know. So maybe I'm reading into things, but because I was talking with my cousin about that, and he thinks that he's gonna join the boys. So we'll see. We'll find out.
Apparently, that's a massive spoiler. You can go read about in the comics or find out online. None of us
didn't know that
in
was a
my knowledge.
spoiler. Yeah, I've
That is
never
a
read the
massive
book, so-
spoiler that you can go find out right now, Mark, unless the show does decide to go a different way.
Well, I don't want to be
Jared,
spoiled.
you haven't read
I
this
think I
series,
know
have
it.
you yet, Jared? Have you?
I guess.
Yeah.
Nope,
Zane,
not
have
yet.
you read this series?
I have not, no.
Robbie and Isaac, and nobody's read this series, Isaac.
Nope.
So I think you're right. That choice, Mark, could be a very big piece of the
And-
puzzle.
And the thing I like, now looking back after, talking about this, is like the scene where like they find out the Compound V is, they've outed the Compound V, and like this scene with Black Noir, like moving back and forth, like he's like super upset, like it's brought up like terrible memories, like if if Compound V was never involved in his life, you'd have like he'd be like normal, like he has some like begrudgments or something. I don't know. It just I'm if I watched everything, maybe I would feel the same way I do about The Boys if they gave us all 10 episodes or 8 episodes. So
We'll get
I'm
back to
not
the
a one-
content on this show. We'll get back to the content in a sec, Mark, because I want to hear from Isaac and Robbie as well. But you and Zane both brought up an interesting point that I think everybody here, this is an honest question. Do we think that streaming services, and this is a little bit of a tangent, but I am curious to ask this, should streaming services just drop all of their season right out the gate and let us binge it? Or do we believe and subscribe to this concept of a slow burn? For me, just to start out my opinion, I'm paying for a streaming service. I want it all now, and I want to consume it at the pace I would like to consume it. What would you say, Isaac? What about you? What do you think?
I think there's obviously positives and negatives to both sides. What I really like about the releasing once a week schedule is like it really builds the hype for those shows, and I feel like when in my life when I look back on shows that I've watched that have come out week by week, I have more anticipation for those shows instead of just binging them all in one sitting or whatever. But it is awesome to have everything available to you to be able to consume whenever you want. So I don't think I would pick one side or the other. I think there's good things about both of them. But yeah, it's just kind of personal preference, honestly.
Robbie, we'll get to you in a second. For those listening live, obviously, we'd love to hear your thoughts too. I'm sure Isaac will chime in and share those as well. If you got some short thoughts, please share them with us. Robbie, what do you think?
I think a service like Netflix has kind of spoiled us, and we've been a little conditioned to, hey, as soon as this date comes, you're going to get all the episodes and you're going to be able to binge it. I think we talked about this earlier in the week, the numbers that Amazon has compared to Disney Plus and Netflix. Like they're number 2 or 3, but most of those subscriptions are because of Amazon Prime. Like I don't think people are consuming Amazon Video. I think we brought up like the only 2 shows that I've ever gotten Amazon Video for is The Boys and Jack Ryan. That's the only 2 shows I've found worthwhile on there. So I think for them it makes sense to release week by week, because then people have to sign into your app. They have to get on there weekly, and maybe they'll see something else that they want to watch on there they didn't know was on there. That in my head is how they're thinking about it. Obviously Netflix doesn't need that, because as soon as you turn your TV on, Netflix pops up. And at least in my house, that's what happens. Like that's the first thing that we turned off last night. It's the first thing that pops up. I don't go and have to search for Amazon or for Netflix like I do when I want to go like on my smart TV. I have to go search for Amazon, go watch The Boys every single week. So I think it's a give and take. I don't mind it, but I agree. I would love to just watch all the episodes all at once. And just to have an opinion on I've only watched the first 3 episodes. They're great. I love the fact that Homelander is getting like pressured, and like that's my favorite part so far, because you're kind of like you're kind of seeing he's now getting a little humanized, because Stormfront is like eating into that godlike mold that he thinks he has. And that's being like chipped away at, I think, so far. At least through 3 episodes. I don't know what happened in the forest, so no spoilers. But I'm really enjoying Homelander coming down a peg, dude, besides all the kid stuff.
I would totally agree with you on that. Like, I haven't watched the 4th episode either, but like Homelander made you or us hate him in season 1. And so far, he's not, I don't think he will ever get out of that, because he's a character that we love to hate. But his arc in this season is amazing so far. And like you said, he's just getting humanized. He's actually getting into situations where it's out of his control, and he's not used to that. So yeah, it's very interesting where this season is going. So I'm definitely into it. Quick chat break here. We had a couple people comment. Mark said, personally, as much as I'd love to watch The Boys, I steer clear of it because of the not so appropriate content. Absolutely true there, Mark. There's a whole lot of content in The Boys that is not family friendly. And then we had Comics in the Cross say, hard to tell as most shows week to week are on TV, and those shows are 24 episodes with a bunch of filler. If it's weekly and has no filler, all good, then it can build anticipation. But yeah, you're totally...
That's a really great point.
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
A great point.
Yep. And then
Jared, you're kind of speaking. Let's get to Jared, and we'll come back to that.
Yep.
Jared, you're speaking to this concept of not so family friendly, but you gave it a 5.5 out of 6. You could have given it a 5.9 just strictly for the content. There's something else there. What's that?
I think it is like, I want to be comfortable sharing this. Truthfully, like when I look at this TV series, I want to say this is something that I can sit down and feel comfortable. But there are things like, I think even the way that they handle, obviously with the everything post the Me Too movement, right? I think it's good that they're bringing some of this stuff to light, specifically everything that they do with Starlight. But at the same time, like I come out of that feeling worse sometimes because I'm like, no, this stuff really happens all the time, right? And I know like it's not the job of the boys to hold my hand and make me feel better, right? That's not it is in a way bringing awareness to these issues, but I think that is that the first or second episode was so jarring
The very
to me
first one, very first episode.
that will always just sit with me as like a really feel bad moment as a way to end that. And like I understand again that this is not, it was never advertised on the box to be family friendly, but that's a hurdle that I always have a hard time getting past. Is in my mind thinking like, man, this really happens to women all the time.
Right. Well, and even and you haven't watched the newest episodes, but in the most recent episode, I won't spoil past. All I can say is there was a conversation that occurs in episode 4 that was really fascinating, especially with the dialogue occurring with racial injustice today in our country. And I thought I look at that, Jarrett, as a commentary. Maybe not, but I understand. And to be honest, episode 1, which for those that have not watched this show, a certain member of the Seven coerces another member of the Seven to engaging in a sexual activity, and it's basically rape. And it's not supposed to make you feel good. And I think I think that did its intended job, but I understand your thought process as to why that is, and I think that is very important that people understand that watching this show. But I honestly think they've done a really good job commentating on this stuff, Jared. I really do feel that way. I hear what you're saying, but I think their commentary has been spot on, and I do think if superheroes were real, this is the way it would be. As sad as that is, we want it to be the MCU, even some of the DC stuff with like Wonder Woman and Aquaman and Shazam. But I think reality is this is how it would probably be. Isaac, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with that, and I again, I have like a hard time watching those shows just because my wife hates that stuff. So I have to watch it by myself. So I got to find time, to do it where my wife isn't going to walk in and be disgusted at what's on the TV, because that happened multiple times when I was watching Game of Thrones. So, but yeah, it's definitely like something that is definitely something to look out for. Got a couple more comments here. Ashley says, releasing episodes one at a time is reminiscent of traditional TV. Makes me eager for the next installment. Binge watching can cause burnout. No Chill Penguin says, they're stringing us along. Weenies. I agree. No Chill Penguin.
I'm with you. I'm with No Chill on that. I'm with him on that.
Yeah, and then Mark says, I got used to weekly again with The Mandalorian. So Disney Plus has been kind of following that weekly thing too. Like, I don't know what they'll do with the MCU shows, but I'd be all right with them doing weekly just because it kind of builds that anticipation. But I'd be all right with them just dropping them all at the same time too. So
doesn't that make sense though for Disney Plus? Like Disney Plus is still a new streaming service. Like
right, so they're trying.
You could do a free 7-day trial. Like you don't want people to sign up for the 7-day trial, watch The Mandalorian, and then cancel.
Right. Yeah. True.
So like that's the mold right there.
Yeah, I get that.
I think the thing too, especially like with shows like The Mandalorian, they invested so much into that like every single episode was a visual feast, and you could go back and rewatch it and not feel like you were like in any way, shape, or form getting burnt out on that specific episode. So it kept the hype rolling for the next one, where you weren't like, oh crap, now I gotta wait another week. I would watch those episodes 2 or 3 times before I was able to catch the next one the week later.
Yeah, we kind of really get no say in it, but I'd really prefer it that way. Real quick before we go to our next topic, Zane, what does your wife do when she sees you watching The Boys?
Well, Robert's typically just in his room I don't.
And
think
then
he's
are you
watched
gonna
The
make a my
Boys.
mom joke? That was the entry for my mom joke. I was waiting for it, and you went with the Robert route.
I was trying to take the high road.
You did. You high roaded it. I really opened the door. I thought you were gonna go after my mom.
I
There.
high
really
roaded
thought
the bit.
that's a good. Hey, I
Tuesday.
respect you for that.
That's great.
Let's.
I got
That's very-
I got a comment on this how it's being delivered. I got.
Oh, go ahead, Mark. I'm sorry. I
I got
apologize. Go ahead.
So what I'm gonna reiterate what Robbie said about how we have been conditioned by Netflix about just the whole dump. But I think we're gonna see more of this weekly, drop instead of all at once. It's because we have more streaming services now. We have CBS,
Right.
Peacock, HBO Max, Amazon, Hulu, Netflix, and I'm sure I'm missing a few, where they're all competing against each other now. So now we're in the mode where, hey, for a company to make money, they don't want you to come watch it for a month, subscribe for a month, and cancel. So this is how they keep you for at least 6 weeks or 10 weeks. And then hopefully you forget about it, and then you subscribe for 3 months without noticing it. So
Yeah, it's gonna be super fascinating because
all
I
about the money, analytics.
yeah, it
snacks.
is analytics. Let's head over to some gaming news. This comes from the New York Post. This is in reference to Microsoft with Xbox, and the article says the console makers have for months been locked in a stare down with Sony over who would release pricing details for their next generation Xbox and PlayStation consoles first. Microsoft this week revealed that its top tier Xbox Series X will cost $499, while the budget Series S would retail for a wallet-friendly $299. Obviously, we don't know the PS4 cost yet. We're all PS4 users. Some of us are. Oh, go ahead, Jared. Unless we do know that, and I'm
PS5.
wrong.
No,
Sorry,
PS5.
I said PS5. Thank you. I said PS4.
What if they mail it to us like the ballots? That'd be awesome.
Anyway, we're all PS4 users, probably going to engage in PS5. Some of us have separate consoles. Mark, is this news good enough for you to buy an Xbox?
Well, no, because all of you guys use, PlayStation. So if we as a group said, hey, we're gonna go all exclusively Xbox, then yeah, I'd go buy an Xbox. But I don't see that being the case.
Isaac, can you make sure that we start the process of getting Sony to sponsor us so we can be the official podcast of
Sure.
Sony
Yeah,
and PS5?
I'll
Let's
start
get that process
messaging
going.
them and emailing them immediately and tweeting them every
Great,
day.
yeah.
How's that sound?
Cool. You're
Hey, that's
you're
how you
kind of
get
talking.
attention today.
Yeah, you're talking a little too much for somebody that should be going and getting that done. Zane, talk to us. You are a dual console user. Is this
Yes.
something that makes you excited to get an Xbox?
We're
or not?
tri-wielders.
Oh, excuse
Yeah.
me.
Yeah,
Tri-wielders. Forgive me.
Get it
Sorry.
right. Get it right.
I-
peasant.
I'm sorry.
Lady.
No, I like
Lady.
it because, like before PS4 was the first time I jumped to Sony. Like I was Xbox all before that, so I still have some friends back on Xbox, and
Some
I'm a
friends.
huge Halo fan. So for me, having a cheaper price point for the S, like that's much easier for me to jump into. It's something that then when Halo Infinite comes out, I can be like, okay, I can get the S, I get that. Like that's that's not my main console, so I don't need to break the bank getting the X when I can just get the S and still be able to play Halo or any other thing I find on Game Pass or anything like that.
Robbie, you're apparently a tri-wielder. Didn't even know that was a thing till just now. What are your thoughts?
Now.
Sorry.
We just made it a thing. I'm in the same kind of boat as Zane. I will not be buying one probably for a year at least. I'll probably kind of wait it out and hopefully find a Series S for just to get like a $200 one. Unlike the PS5, which I'll probably buy the first month it comes out. But like Zane said, like there's games on there I want to play. Like I want to be able to play Halo. It sounds like Fable might be coming back. Like there's rumors about that coming back. So like those are big deals for me. Yeah, Fable.
Wow.
And if
we buy an Xbox,
right, and if I can't play those games on the PS5, then I'm then I'm gonna have to get an Xbox. And at first I was like, I don't know if I'd want the one without the disc, but then I was thinking about it. I have an Xbox right now. I don't have any physical game copies for that. They're all on the Xbox.
Right.
So like it came to the point like I can just get the subscription, have the Xbox, and I'm golden. Like that, there's a few games I'll play when I want to play them,
Right.
and then everything else is going to be PS5 or whatever.
Jarrett, what about you? As your elbows deep in a sip of tea, I'm sorry.
No, I mean, like, I've always been a Sony guy, and I think I'll stay true to that. But the thing is, right, you look at the S and its price point, and it's hard to argue against that, right? The only person who's close is Stadia, I think, at that low of a budget for something on the newer end. And what does the Stadia have going for it, if anything?
No one wants a
Nothing.
Stadia. Try
And
that
then-
thing, garbage.
Again, I love, my heart will always belong to Sony. I've always played Sony consoles, but I think it's hard to beat Game Pass as a monthly subscription service over anything else,
Yeah.
right? They have way more to offer right now. So for
Mhm.
that alone, right, Xbox is pretty good at drawing people in. I would want to get Game Pass if I was to upgrade here in the near future. I don't know if I will. My PlayStation is currently dying on me because of Modern Warfare.
Right, yeah, I was gonna say.
But I'm chomping at the bit for a new console, and if it's Xbox at $300 less than the PlayStation, I might look into that.
And especially since Microsoft is doing the all access, which I know was brought up in chat, like that is a fantastic thing, and that's also on my hot
Absolutely.
list. Foreshadowing, but just the fact that you can make monthly payments on that, and it comes with Game Pass, like that's a fantastic marketing idea.
Little bits.
Little bits.
That's something I will say for those that like don't know how the sausage is being made behind the scenes. I have to edit
Excuse
out
me?
at least 10 of those.
Every podcast.
Like, and even like this is totally again off topic again, but like we do for our fantasy league, we do. I'll have one of the guys on, and we'll talk about our fantasy football league that week, and we'll just make fun of whoever we want to make fun of that week. And this last episode, I said, "All right, bye," and then Mark goes right on the way out, and I kept it in. I was like, "That I have to keep that in. It's so brilliant." Real quick, Isaac, you are also a tri-wielder. Do you have anything to say about this before we move on to the next thing? Yeah, put your
Hang on.
pinky up when you talk too.
Hang on. Does it
Where's
try-
the pinky?
Am I tri-wielder if I still have my GameCube and N64 and PS4?
Yeah.
No,
You have an old
Yeah.
Xbox?
No,
Or
you
an
just
Xbox
collected
360?
all
the-
No.
It's a current
I'm just a
gen.
collector.
You're a tri-wielder, but that's like Walmart
That's called
version.
hoarding.
So okay, so
I'm looking
I
at the time out real
Okay.
quick, Isaac. I'm looking at the chat now because I just like realized I could look at Twitch while we were doing. We'd just be a little behind, and of course Scott Higa is bothering us with
oh
like
he always
correction.
is. That's
Brilliant.
that's
Scott
just-
Scott says, "I don't want to be that
Exactly,
guy.
Jarrett.
I don't want to be that guy, but I am that guy." It's champing at the bit, not chomping at the bit. Oh my gosh! I'm sorry.
Says the
That's
guy
my
just
shot.
has time to watch and read DC stuff. Whatever, Scott.
Yeah, how does he not have time? But he's watching us.
Watch TV shows,
I don't have
guys.
time to watch stuff, but I have time to mock you guys.
But I have time to watch you guys and your tri-wield. Okay, Isaac, go ahead. Sorry.
Okay, so I currently own all of them, and when I heard this announcement, I was ecstatic. Like this is fantastic because I was basically not planning on getting a next gen Xbox unless the price like completely dropped like way at the end of the gen or something. I was probably not going to get one, but now with this low priced Series S, I definitely think I'm going to be getting one. Probably similar to Robbie. I'll probably wait a while until it drops a little bit in price. But still, like, man, just to have a high-powered console like that, and Game Pass is fantastic. I've had Game Pass for the past, like, 6 months, and it is amazing, the amount of games that you can play on there. Like, it's totally, absolutely worth it for that price. So I will be getting a Series S at some point. I'll be getting the PS5 on launch, but the Series S is something that is going to stay on my radar for a long time because it is a pretty pretty good idea. I was shocked that they came out with that. Honestly, it was a really good marketing play on them because they're going to get the casual gamers that are not, hardcore into all of the components and the hardware and all that stuff. They just want to play games, and it's cheap. So yeah, they're going to pick up the Series S to play some games.
And good for you, man. I will not be buying an Xbox just because I'm already a garbage gamer compared to the rest of you anyway. So I've got nothing to bring to the conversation past. I didn't know what a tri-wielder was till today, so I'm excited about that, and I'll be using that in my vocabulary more often. I'll be like, oh, this is my friend Robbie. He's a tri-wielder, by the way, so please don't use big words around him.
So is there like a tri-wielder tournament, like kind of like the Tri-Wizard tournament in Harry Potter? Do we
It's
have
more
like
of
some-
it's more of a club.
It's a club.
You haven't got your invite?
I guess
You guys
not.
need,
No,
like, tie
somebody,
tie
it must have
force
gotten
tattoo?
lost in the mail. I don't know.
Yeah.
More about it.
It's on the mail. Speaking of, there's really no transition to this. Let's just move on to the next topic. Super Mario 35 for the Nintendo Switch users. Woot woot. Headlining. This comes from Eurogamer.net. Headlining the announcements of the celebration of Mario's 30th, Super Mario Brothers 35th anniversary was the re-release of Mario's three 3D platforming classics: Super Mario 64. Super Mario Sunshine, and Super Mario Galaxy. The Super Mario 3D All-Stars collection will arrive on September 18th, but will be removed from the sale at the end of next March. It's kind of weird that the article even says bizarre there. Speaking of Mario collections, the original Super Mario All-Star packs released back on the SNES is now available to play via Nintendo Switch Online. Online subscribers will find it in their catalog when this was released, which was a couple days ago, allowing them to once again play Super Mario Brothers, Super Mario Brothers: The Lost Levels, Super Mario Brothers 2, and Super Mario Brothers 3. Isaac, let's roll back around to you because you are an avid Switch user and somebody who I think you like Mario. I hope you like Mario, at least. If you don't, are you an American? Is my question. What do you think of this news? And I'd love to hear your rating on this. We didn't rate the last article, but I'd love to rate this. What is your rating on this news?
I think this rating is, I'll give it a 5.5 out of 6. The half point off because it is a little slight. I mean, everything that Nintendo does is pretty much a money grab, but it is a little bit of a money grab. But everything that was announced is something that I'm excited about. So yeah, it's a money grab, but I'm probably going to still pay money for it. So I can't really be too mad at it. The thing that really grabbed my attention was the Super Mario 64, because I think that's widely considered one of the, probably on a lot of people's top 10 lists of like games of all time. Like that's a fantastic game. And we've talked about this in our group chat too, a little downer too that they didn't do a remaster of it. It's just the original game. Yeah. So I guess that can go towards my half point off. But still, I mean, like, even though that it's an original game, I'd probably pay $30 just for that. And the fact that we're getting 3 games in the $60 pack, that makes it worth it to me. So I'm probably going to end up getting it. The limited time deal, that's the weird part to this. Like, I don't know. It's just, that just goes along with the money grab part of it. I think, like, they want to make sure everybody gets in and gets it before it's off the market or whatever. I don't know. It's a weird deal. But I still am excited for it, and I'm probably going to end up buying something from it at least. The 35 Battle Royale Mario was a weird thing, but it's like, okay, I mean, they're doing something different, doing something new. All right, let's give it a shot. So yeah, I'm excited for it. It's something that I'm excited about. Definitely the Super Mario 64. Like, I can't wait to get back into that. Even my wife, she occasionally games, she was like, I told her that, and she was like, oh man, I cannot wait for that. So definitely going to
They needed to remaster it though, Isaac. They're dropping the ball by not remastering it. You can see it on the face. You can see it on the face of Jarrett and Robbie. My rating before I pass it off to one of you two, whichever one of you is chomping at the bit to come in on the conversation. This is a 2 out of 6. This is garbage. This is no. I'm not a tri-wielder like Robbie. However, as a dual wielder, I don't know. What does that make? What does that make me, Zane? You go ahead and define me real quick.
It's two systems.
A filthy casual?
Akimbo?
Is that what I am? I don't know.
Dual wielding.
Do you
I
game on
just
your iPad? Does that count?
iPad. You got Apple
Can't have
Arcade.
an
Does that
iPad.
count as? Is that
if the
count as
iPad if the iPad counts, then I too am a tri-wielder.
something? Then I too am
no,
a tri-wielder.
Then I too am a tri-wielder. I'm very excited to come and attend. No, this is a 2 out of 6. I think this is garbage. I think it's garbage. It's just ridiculous that it's like that short of time and they're not remastering it. Jared, Robbie, go ahead. Whichever one of you. Just both of your face was the same when I saw it.
Oh, see, I think you read mine wrong. I honestly thought the whole remaster thing, like if you were to remaster it, kind of loses its flair. To be honest,
Okay,
I think
all right,
Nintendo survives off of nostalgia.
fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
They
Absolutely.
don't do a whole lot of new stuff. They put out the same characters in a different realm, and they give them one different item, and that's it.
But
They
that
play-
doesn't
they
mean
play the hits.
can't
That's fair.
make it
Yeah,
look
they-
better. That doesn't mean they can't crisp things up a bit.
Yeah, I understand. Well, but so you think this is going to be like a straight port? Like there's all the issues that were in the original game are going to be fixed. I would assume it's just not going to look as
No.
good. You think everything's
Go ahead,
going to be
Jared.
exact
No,
same?
It's
Jared, go ahead.
like a
Then
straight
Zane, you'll get in. Jared,
So
then
it's-
Zane, go ahead, Jared.
It's nearly a straight port. It's kind of halfway between them straight porting it and remastering it. They're keeping in all the glitches and all that original stuff, right? Because there's a huge speedrunning community specifically for Mario 64. What they did do is update all the textures to HD. Can you see it looking at the game? Absolutely not. It looks the exact same. You have to look very, very, very
Triangles
closely.
and blocks.
Sorry, go ahead.
It's just blocks and triangles. Like
Yeah,
everything
the
looks the same.
polygons, the shapes, the model tech, all that's the same. It's just HD textures. You'll never notice the difference. I'm excited for this and the fact that we're getting these games on the Switch at all. But I'm of the mindset that you release them originally as is, right? Old textures, old everything on the Nintendo eStore. But you also take the time to remaster them, especially if you're going to charge $60 for these games. To me,
Absolutely.
that's the craziest part. is how much they're
Absolutely,
charging for.
yes.
The
Zane, go ahead. Oh, go ahead.
I get that. I get that.
the Mario Kart thing that you control with the Switch and have your little RC, that blows my mind that technology
That was
exists and that
crazy.
we're doing that. That was
Right.
the highest point of this whole thing for me.
But you know that's going to be too much money. No one's going to pay for it.
Crazy expensive.
Like that was their issue with what I freaking have it and I can't think of the name of it. The cardboard stuff, the Nintendo Labo.
Oh, yeah.
Labo.
I was able to get that stuff as a deal when I bought my Switch from the person that didn't want it, and that stuff is awesome. But I
Yeah.
would never ever spend $80 on it,
No,
which was
Right.
the original price point. Like,
Right.
but it's really cool. I loved. Me and my son put it together. We played with it a few times, but it's still kind of annoying to get all out and everything. But there's no way ever in a store I was going to buy that for $80.
Same
And
with
that's my worry with the Mario Kart thing. I don't think we have a price point yet, but that's my worry with that thing.
same with
It's a
like
great idea.
the Fit Ring too. Like all of their peripherals, Nintendo does this where they make these amazing peripherals and then they just charge through the roof for them. Like the Wii
Right.
balance board and all that. I mean, it was a great idea, but you had to pay out at the wazoo to afford that.
Zane, go ahead. You were chomping at the bit to say something, or champing at the bit. I don't know. Whatever Scott says it is.
no, it's chomping.
You're
We're not gonna
Yeah,
lose
You're
this.
charging
Mark
at the
came
bit.
back and defended chomping, so we're good. Mark
Man.
Mark is that he's the GMG guy who's like, well, actually,
That's great. It's fine that Mark is coming in to
Sure.
correct it, but as somebody who deals with a Mark who corrects me all the time,
All right,
I will
hang
not
on,
be
hang
having
on.
it.
Hang on. Okay, so we're saying collectively it's chomping at the bit, right? Not champing.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
chomping.
Okay.
I've always
Champing
said
is the British way. Chomping is the
Oh.
American way. So
Okay.
Scott's not
Oh.
American.
I didn't know.
We should-
Scott was British.
Imagine,
Scott is
British.
imagine
Wow.
America. Scott not doing the American way.
yeah, Scott's just
Shocking.
sipping his tea.
Yeah.
We're
What
all
are you going to tell me
I-
now, Mark?
I
that
live in
doctors
California.
Our sky is red. Your sky is blue, but ours is red. Very good. Very
I'm
good.
speaking
Yes,
the
yes.
Well, it probably is
Queen's
red
English.
from all the
Cost me
fires that did reveal.
$3,000 a week to pay for rent here.
Oh gosh.
Zane, anything else? Nintendo Switch. Mario 35th anniversary. Anything to add on to that?
No, it just kind of just reiterating what was already hit on. Just like, yeah, I understand releasing it as is, but like, give us like a rebuilt, a remastered one. Give us like a new version to go out on the Switch. Like, I want to play it with updated, looking good. Like, there's no reason you can't do that, especially if you're going to be paying full price for it.
Yeah, I agree. Let's head over to hot or
I
snap.
got one because you didn't come to me yet.
Isaac,
Time out.
Isaac,
before we do
oh,
that.
you don't own a Switch. You don't own a Switch.
What do
Yeah,
you have to say, Mark? Now
but-
I'm interested.
But
Yeah,
But
now all of a sudden, go on.
you guys were slobbering all over Mario 64, but you said Mario Sunshine and Super Mario 3 was in this bundle.
Galaxy.
Which is a fantastic.
Sunshine
Both of
and
those are great
Galaxy.
games.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're both
right.
great games too.
So Sunshine, but also Super Mario 3 from the original NES, right?
Well, that's already on the Switch online.
Oh, well then
that's-
never mind.
you can
I have
play
no
that right
comment
now.
on this.
Yeah.
Move on.
You can play
I
that
was like,
right
I'll pay $60 for those 2 games.
Get a Switch, then you can talk, Mark.
Yeah. Come on, Mark. You're
Oh, whatever.
Maybe
Try
you
me.
gotta
gotta
there.
hop on the bandwagon.
Play
man.
your
I don't know.
GameCube. Why don't you pop that
Yeah,
Mario,
Yeah, at least I
Mario
like the
Galaxy in
Sunshine.
your
I don't need
GameCube?
to worry about Jack. Crap. I don't care about Galaxy. It was Sunshine.
Hey,
That's what it was
Right.
all
Well,
at.
I mean, the 64 is the draw out of that bundle, right? Like, I mean, Galaxy and Sunshine were fine, but like,
Yeah,
Oh, no.
64 is what you
64
want.
is
Yeah.
what you're buying that
Okay,
bundle
so this
for.
bundle is just those 2 games, and they didn't remaster.
games.
Wait, what was the third one? Sunshine was the other one?
Sunshine, Galaxy, and 64.
Sunshine Galaxy.
Yeah, I guess it really wouldn't be worth
64.
it to me
They
for
didn't-
60
they
For
bucks.
didn't-
$60, I
we
mean, I
just
think it's worth
updated
it
the
for
text.
$60.
So-
Just $20 a game. I mean,
so we're talking about it in the chat a little bit, but Nintendo never drops their prices on their
no.
games.
Yeah, that's true.
Like
They don't have to.
all of the Mario games, all of the Zelda games, all those Nintendo games stay at $60. They never go down. They're always
Right.
gonna ask $60. It's just
Breath of the Wild is still $60, even though that was a launch title.
It's the
Yep.
only game that I bought. Like I had to have Breath of the Wild. I am refusing to buy any.
That's
other
where
game
the
until it's
physical
like
copies come
$30.
into handy because I bought Breath of the Wild for $40 at a GameStop when I got my Switch. But still, like, yeah, I mean, if you're talking about the online store, prices never go down.
Never go
Never.
Comics
Isaac,
and
go
costumes.
ahead and let's yeah, they're
demanding
the
push
people are going. They're demanding push-ups.
they-
We'll get Robbie on. We'll get Robbie on that in a bit, and he'll get him on his Instagram.
What's
Don't worry.
what's these push?
Go ahead
Okay.
and get us.
like I don't
Go
have-
ahead and get us the bumper.
All right. Well, first of all, before we do that, we've got 2 things. We've got a giveaway, and then we've got a game that we're gonna play. Right? Is that what we're gonna do
Whoa.
first? I thought that we were doing.
We're playing
that
a
first.
game.
Yeah.
This is
Well, not
your
you.
idea, Isaac.
Chat's gonna play a
We're
game.
gonna be here all night. All right, that's fun.
Yeah, we're
an
gonna be here
hour
all
in.
night.
We haven't
All right,
gotten
first
past,
giveaway
New Year's.
item.
Wonderful.
Infinity Bros mask. All right, you've seen it on
Now,
our social
Isaac,
media.
why would you need to wear a mask in this climate? Are you sure?
Yeah,
What about
it's
Scott? I
actually-
live in
Isaac,
California.
It actually just looks really cool. It's not for actually any practical purpose. It's just to look cool. So
No, nobody wears masks these days.
no, fine.
It makes sense.
Tomato.
So
tomato.
what are the contest details here?
Okay, so
Isaac,
the
what do you-
details of this one. This is just a literal straight giveaway. You guys are going to enter exclamation giveaway in the chat. All right, exclamation giveaway. I'm gonna give you guys like a minute to do this. Exclamation. Oh, there we go. Jarrett's got his on. He's looking sharp.
I wish I'd been told
Exclamation
to
giveaway in the chat, and I'm gonna basically draw it here, and we will just give it away. Oh, Comics in the Cross is going crazy now. He really wants some of us to do push-ups.
we're at 20 push-ups.
Are we keeping tracks? If we just divide it up by 6,
I got it in my
that's
head.
okay. All right.
Still a
20 right
lot,
now.
dog. That's still a lot up, dog.
I'm
Okay.
doing no push-ups.
Exclamation
Yeah,
giveaway in
I
the
think Mark and I
chat.
are making it very clear.
Guys, I got you. I got you.
No, that we will not be doing any push-ups
No,
today.
no. We will not be doing push-ups today.
No, there will not be a knife fight
There will
today.
be no push-ups.
Yeah, Comics
today.
Across. I also demand world peace, so I guess we're not going to get what we want tonight.
Yeah, I mean
Did you
sometimes you
start
don't
the
get what you
giveaway?
want.
There you
That's just what happens.
All right, let's do the giveaway. Here we go.
All right.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, it's
Isaac,
gonna
did
be
you
coming
start
up in the chat here in 3, 2, 1.
So what do I do? Wait, hold on. How do I
It's
play?
supposed
How
to
do I
be
do this?
exclamation giveaway.
Exclamation
Nightbot.
point
There we
giveaway.
go. Smarty49. What?
Smarty?
No way.
Wait, what?
Smarty
Congrats,
is
Robert.
in and won
Robert.
the giveaway.
Smart, mate.
Nightbot is very anticlimactic. It just says Smarty49 is one to give away. Period. That's all
Smarty
it says.
Smarty asks, could we get a certain person to watch Robbie's form on the push-up?
Congratulations, Smarty, on winning.
We've got a couple people. We
your
can
mask.
reach out.
We'll get that to you later.
It sounds like Comics in the Cross really wants to watch the push-ups. So
He
I think
really
we'll get that
does.
taken care of.
You want me to like?
Are we gonna do that first?
I feel like I'm always doing push-ups.
Are we?
Do it, Robbie.
Robbie,
Does it have to be on video?
Robbie.
About 1,000 push-ups right now? Is that what you're supposed to do? Or how many
Oh.
push-ups are you supposed to do?
Here we
like,
go.
on video.
20.
He's going to do 20? Yeah, Robbie, do 20 of them.
Do it. Do it. How many did he?
Can you?
He
Can you
did
see
5,
me now?
10,
Yes.
15,
Oh, I can see you,
25,
yeah.
30. He did 30,
Oh,
but I
yeah.
can
Hit
do
your
some
head.
later.
I hope you hit. Oh,
There
yeah.
it
Oh,
is.
yeah.
There
yeah.
it is.
Oh yeah.
Go Robbie. Go
Actually,
Robbie. Gonna party.
actually,
I'm
your
getting
form
real
is a little bit
sweaty.
off.
Could you?
Robbie, have you considered long snapping in the NFL? I think you should consider that as a career path.
Oh man.
You know, I actually have. I've thought about it.
You should look
I'm
into
actually
that.
an
I don't
NFL
know.
free agent.
Have you
You know,
ever
if
done
any
NFL?
teams out there, you know, looking for.
Have you ever done any lunges before, Robbie? You should try
I do
lunging.
at least 6 a day.
I don't think he has. All right.
6.
So are we gonna play the game next? Do we want to do that next, or do we want to go hot and snot first?
Hot and SWAT.
Hot and swat.
SWAT.
What do we wanna do
Let's
next?
go hot.
game?
Let's go hot or snot because
snot.
we're long-winded tonight and it's
We
gonna
are.
take a while.
We are. Okay, let's
Yeah.
see. I'm gonna get the bumper up here. Just hold on here. Hold on. Moose Man, Moose, what is up,
Man.
dude?
Moose.
Moose.
All right. Hot
Is that
or
Alan?
snot?
Moose?
That is
Alan
Alan
Moose
Moose.
in the chat. Alan Moose has the greatest Minnesota accent for the people listening at home. Alan is like, well, you know, we went to Lake Wobegon and hung out and we saw, it's ironic, my last name is Moose and we saw some moose as well. Very crazy things. Very
We were
crazy.
up
Yeah.
in for a meeting.
He said it's rigged on the giveaway. That's his first comment. Fantastic.
Yeah, well, yeah. All right, I'm gonna play the bumper here. You guys won't be able to hear it. Everybody in chat will be able to.
Hot or snot?
There we go. That's good.
Fantastic. Mark, since you didn't get to talk a lot about the Switch and you were very upset about it, I just want to make sure that your voice is heard on this show. Go ahead, Mark. You start us off.
With pleasure. All right. My first hot is a show my wife and Kelly have been watching. And we're, I think, like 3.5 seasons in to it. Schitt's Creek has been
Jeez,
a
easy.
blast.
Mark, come on.
Oh,
My
Whoa.
goodness, the name of the show is Schitt's Creek. The
Mark,
name-
again,
Man,
stop
when
it.
you were kidding about being
this is
censored,
family
I thought it was a joke.
Family friendly.
Goodness.
The name of the show and town is Schitt's Creek.
David.
It's a
Where's our
Canadian
beeper?
show.
Do we have a beeper?
David.
Where are
It
you
is
from,
hilarious.
fellow tri-wielder?
I work for the FCC.
I'm from Schitt's Creek.
No, but I
This
love
is
it.
Scott.
It's Eugene Levy and his son and I'm forgetting her name off the top of my head, but the mom from Home Alone. It's a Catherine O'Hara,
Okay.
right? Is that her name? And I'm forgetting the daughter's name right off the top of my head.
Yeah, you
But
have
great
a phone.
show.
You could look the IMDb up like we normally do.
Yeah, but
you know,
that takes
you
too
do
much
you.
time. We're live. I'm just gonna keep going.
They don't do it.
It's on. It's on Netflix right now, so you can go binge it.
Zayde
It's
is super
hilarious.
prepared. Anything
but
else,
yeah.
Mark, or is that all? Is that all you got? Because I called you. Out
I
at the
did
front end
prepare.
of the show.
Yeah, I had to cover my butt for now. No, I got more.
Okay.
My other hot is AEW All Out was last weekend, and it was
Oh,
it
here
got
we
a lot
go.
of flack for
Yeah,
being
that's
a subpar pay per view, but I thought it was pretty good. I would give it a out of 10 a 7.5.
You asked for that, Mark.
That-
Or-
The rating system is out of 6. Rated
that's
out
the
of 6.
second time you've done
What are you
that.
I'm
doing?
afraid all right, I did this
You did
last
that
time.
on our fantasy football show too.
You did this. Yeah,
You did this on the
this
fantasy podcast too.
Yeah, you did this
Well,
on
the
fantasy. I
fantasy
said, hey,
podcast
rank it
isn't
on
this
the...
podcast. All
No,
right,
it's not. So that's fair. I can let that
A
go.
4.7 out of a 4.74 just to get Scott all hot about it.
Robert said, I really like this show. I don't know anything about it. I love it.
Moose,
Mark.
thank you for the sub, man. Glad you're here.
All right, but yeah, go watch it. They had a Mimosa Mayhem match with Orange Cassidy and Chris Jericho, and how you won the match was by throwing your opponent in one of 2 vats of mimosa. It was awesome and hilarious. Wrestling and This Is Us need to combine forces and have create a show together. Am I right, Max?
I got it. Mark, if we had a
Max
This
is
Is Us
all in.
AEW spinoff, I would lose my marbles.
It would be hilarious.
I would shave my eyebrows.
All right, so I'm giving this one a middle of the road, neither hot nor snot. But Kelly and I just watched King of Staten Island the other night, and
Ugh.
I know Max, you gave it like you poo-pooed on it,
Still would.
but I'm like in the middle. It's like I kind of like understand and like what the whole story was about and like his progression as a person, but then I just can't take Pete Davidson seriously. He just seems too much of like
That's fair.
a burnout. It just seems like. But I thought I like the story of the whole movie that they're trying to tell, but I just wish it wasn't Pete Davidson as the lead role.
That's actually very fair.
Yeah.
That's a really good criticism that I haven't thought of.
I would give that a 3.67. Better than Goofy Movie.
That's a
of
good
course.
rating. That's a good strong rating. I think Scott will like that.
Yeah, he'll love it. It
A
fits right in
6/7.
his
Better
narrative.
than Goofy Movie. Boo.
All right. On to my snot. Those are my hots and middle of the road. I got 2 snots for you guys. My first snot is Mulan. Fan-fortastic.
You watched this.
I did, and I paid for it, and
Ugh.
I wish I didn't. Woof.
Yeah, Disney owes you $30.
Hell yeah, they do.
Jeez, Mark, easy.
Oh,
Well, I can't say hell yeah.
creepy.
Hell yeah, brother. But I'm not saying the F word. I feel like
Not
that's
yet.
the only no-no.
Not
Okay,
yet, you haven't.
that and the C word. Those are like the 2 no-nos.
Jiminy
okay, we're
Christmas,
just-
to
we're
even
even
reference the
mentioning it
C
now,
word.
huh?
Let's slow our roll here, dog.
Oh, but if
Why
I'm
would you
British
talk
or
about
Australian, it's
Christmas
cute and funny. Okay. Be a dirty American. I can't say the C word because I'm not. Yeah, get off your high horse, Max.
This is what
I'm
this is
sorry.
what you missed
Hold
on,
yourself.
on the edit. This gets left on the editing.
This one we get. This,
Yeah,
Max
if
would
you're
chop
wondering,
this,
if you're wondering,
it
like,
can't be this funny. Screw
yeah,
him.
you're wondering to yourself, why does the episode take so long to get out after a Friday night recording? This is why.
No, it's because you forget about it and then get busy with other stuff.
That is
Let's get
not
real.
how that goes, Mark. Don't you play
Oh
me
yeah.
like a fiddle.
Oh yeah. So like an
Don't you
episode
try to
involves
fake expose
2
me right now.
people,
Don't you
and
dare.
it takes you 6 days to get it out. Yeah, screw you, Max.
Yeah, when was the last time that happened, Mark? That's what I
Yeah,
thought.
3 episodes ago. Screw you.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
All right. Okay, on to my snot.
Why don't you
Back
turn
to
around,
Mulan.
walk through your wall
It was-
into Narnia, and go hang out with the fawn?
I wish I could. I wish I could. And I wanted to deal with your BS. I'd be there for 40 years, come back and have to deal with it right away. Like I was hoping it would be gone. All right.
Oh gosh.
So back to Mulan. Terrible
Mix
movie.
in a water, dog.
I wish with Mulan. Like, did I go into this movie or have anyone that's seen
No,
it?
you haven't
Going
gone
to-
into anything about Mulan. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I'm saying like, have you gone into it assuming it's gonna be somewhat similar to the cartoon? Like, were we told it wasn't gonna be like that? I mean,
Yes, we were told.
were we? Because screw Walt Disney. I want to
Yes.
dig up his grave and slap his
It's
Nazi
about the ori-
sympathizing
it's about
face.
the original story.
Jiminy.
It's about the original story. You didn't know that?
Don't Jiminy Christmas me on that, Max. Walt Disney was a Nazi sympathizer. Read a book.
You can't just
Read a book.
dead like that.
Are spicy today.
But yeah, Robbie. Yeah, it was what the original story was, but I just feel like
Yeah,
it.
they told us that.
So then it's like, well, then it just felt very like mid, like to me, like a very mid, like
You went into it with the
2000s
wrong-
karate.
the wrong
Yeah, I went with the wrong
perspective.
mindset. But now knowing that it was filmed in like the territories that these like enslavement camps are, now it's like
Yeah.
screw you,
Oh yeah.
Disney.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, like F you, Disney. F you. Give me my money back, but give me Star Wars and Marvel stuff because I'm okay with that. So just don't film in that area. But it's like screw you, Disney.
No, the Mulan thing, and I have a link that I can share. So Isaac, when we post this episode, on our podcasting sites, I'll make sure that I have a link to an article you can read about this. They kind of backtracked actually today, Mark. Dark Horizons reported this. They said that Disney said it's been a really long week, and then the guy goes, "I'll leave it at that."
Oh goodness.
And it's I think they're kind of realizing the timing of all of this is really poor. And I think if they had really thought through that, they might have actually waited to release Mulan for next year, to be honest. But I think they wanted to release Mulan to try to get an idea for Black Widow. I think that was the play.
Well,
here,
yeah, I think that was with Mulan to see like, hey, do we make money back? Do we make a profit? Then we can release other movies like this. So I get it from their economic standpoint, but with everything learned about it, it's just like, man, I wish I would just waited 3 more months to see it in December, because that's when it apparently gets dropped on Disney Plus. So
yeah, man,
all
I
right.
get you.
So my last snot.
There's more.
There's one more. Is the whole booing in the NFL first game of the season yesterday on
I've got
Thursday.
this in my snot too, Mark.
For Unity, my goodness.
For Unity, let's talk about it. Go for it.
So my whole my opinion on this, was it true booing at the whole Unity thing, like them to being united? Then I heard rumors that it was people are doing like pro Trump chants, so they booed them. But then I put that out there in the group chat as a conspiracy, did the NFL put in the boos to drive something up? And then I go to Reddit and other people have that same thought. So I don't know, if it's one of those three. But then I go to other right. I'll say Fox News. I go I follow them on Facebook. I follow everyone on Facebook because I love to know everything and then stir the pot everywhere, because that's who I am as a person. And in Fox News, all the comments about this is it sends a message are we in a world where to be pro end racism is a bad thing? Republicans are
It's a political stance.
yeah,
Apparently.
it's basically I feel reading the comments, reading strictly the comments from Fox News, if you're against, let me rephrase this. Basically, is what I'm getting. If you're a Republican now, you are a racist because you don't want racism to end. That's what I've gotten through reading Fox News.
I think what people are booing, Mark, if I were to, because I agree. By the way, I agree with you. Just to speak from the other side of the spectrum and what I think they're booing is, I think they're booing the Black Lives Matter organization, because there are organizational things that Black Lives Matter has right now that a lot of right-leaning people do not align with, and they're not afraid to say things like black people are important, black people have relevance, black people are valuable, but the phrase Black Lives Matter is synonymous to many right-leaning people, in the same way that Make America Great is not the thing that a lot of people want to say.
Also,
so I think that was what they were trying to boo in that process, is what I would say.
The ironic thing, though, coming back to this, is how in the end zone of the Chiefs, it says "end racism" as the team's name is the Chiefs.
Jarrett, let's go to you on that. Jarrett, thoughts, go.
No, I mean, it's important to recognize that if people in a cultural group, especially one that has been so misrepresented, mistreated, and misunderstood for so long, is still considered a mascot. Obviously, we finally got rid of Redskins, which long time coming, right? I think people are waking up more and more to the fact that this is a big glaring issue. And when you have "end racism now" or whatever it said right next to
it said end racism,
it's so incredibly tone deaf that how did they not see how ironic this is as they're painting the gosh darn thing?
Jared, do you think it's because the Chiefs don't have a physical person representing their mascot, and it's just the word Chiefs?
Yeah,
and they don't have a mascot where it's the guy in his.
It's the tomahawk chant, right, Jarrett? It's the tomahawk chant. That's the problem.
That's a big thing. The thing is, there are bigger issues right now that affect the Native American community than this. But that's not saying that this isn't an issue, right? But when you look at things like the tomahawk chop, when you look at them being used as a caricature instead of a contemporary people group, and understanding all these issues that go on behind the scenes, it's really just incredibly tone deaf and disrespectful. So if you want to be a champion of the people, be a champion of all the people, right? If you care about minorities, care about all minorities. Exactly. I need to get off my soapbox before I go too far.
No, preach, brother.
No, Jared, I would agree, and I think that's something the NFL players need to stand for. And there's one player right now, and in my opinion, has all the cards to change that, and that's Patrick Mahomes. He won't do that though because he owns part of the Royals now, and he's pretty enmeshed in that city, and he's not going to do that. But if he wanted to, Patrick Mahomes could go to the Chiefs and go, "I'm not playing another down till this is changed." And let me tell you, they would change it.
Remember that fake news that I had shared that I thought was real? Like I think a lot of us actually thought that was legit because Patrick Mahomes does have that power in the Chiefs organization.
He's the only NFL player I think that can do it. It's kind of different between the NFL and NBA though, Robbie, right? Because like the NBA's got about 15 guys that can probably do this and really hold all the leverage because just the way the agreements are and the power that one player has in that game versus the NFL. But it's just interesting to me because I don't think Patrick Mahomes is going to do it. I think they have strategically paid him in a way. They have said like, "Hey, we'll pay you a ton of money. Just be quiet about this." And I think he could do it. He won't ever do it, but I think he could. It would be really interesting to see if he did it.
Jarrett, you want to redo your camera? It's been frozen in a very interesting pose for about 5 minutes now.
No, don't redo it. It's fine. Yeah, just leave it that way the rest of the podcast.
It looks like the guy that's about to say aliens. Aliens.
He does, yeah. It would have been a great. It really would have been a great man. There's some mispronunciation for you, Scott. Even though Scott had to go. Zane, what are your thoughts on this? Because I know that you obviously lean a little more conservative. I'm not in any way implying that you would be one of those people booing. But what do you think on this whole thing? What are your thoughts with this?
It seems petty. There's just too much money that people have tied in things, and I know it was something like Alan kind of said in the chat. It's just like I realize there's pressing issues, but there are times and a place for everything. And like with football, like, yeah, let's play. Let's get through this. Like, change a name or not. Like, it's just a sports name. If you go with Chiefs, if you change it, it's the name of a team. There's bigger issues in the world. And like, I think we get too caught up in the minutiae on things and just want the virtue signal and just be like, oh, NFL, we're painting end racism. Okay, well, what? We're like, oh, it's solved. It's over. We painted this in the back of our end zone. Like,
I think you agree with us on that. Right. I think you're agreeing with us on that. That's complete pandering. It's complete pandering.
Yeah. Like have action.
No, I agree.
Towards it.
Agreed. It's to me, and Robbie, maybe you'd add on to this too. It's to me the same dialogue as when the NBA players stopped playing for that like 2-day stretch. And then the owners came out and said, "Hey, you're not going to get paid 30% of your money." And then they're like, "Oh, never mind," right? Like, and maybe that wasn't how it went down. Maybe they just didn't have a plan and they didn't feel like they could do it. What do you think, Robbie?
I'm with you and Jarrett on this a lot. I think it's hilarious to see end racism and then see the Chiefs thing. I think Jarrett has way more standing on this because he's way more connected to it. But the Native American people get kind of shoved in the background when it comes to all of this racism that goes on in our country. And obviously it's a big issue, but the booing is it's uncalled for, it's unnecessary, it's childish. And it's just something we don't need to see. I don't think booing unity doesn't make any sense to me. And the
booing was weird.
Yeah, the booing is weird. Whether it was for this or that, you can go on any football player's like personal page right now. If they made a comment about it, there's going to be comments under there about people that don't even know what the booing is about. But let's assume that the booing was because of the unity showing. There are people on every single NFL player's page that are in 100% agreement with it, that they just want football, that they don't want things that are hard shoved in their face when they're trying to enjoy football. I think that's what it comes down to. People want an escape. They don't want to be bothered by but it's not a political statement.
Oh yeah, I don't want to be bothered by racism. Yeah, my bad. My bad, people. Screw you guys.
Right.
No,
guys. I agree.
I do think
it's not a political stance, but people think it's their time. They're paid athletes getting millions of dollars. They shouldn't be using their platform for this. When I'm a viewer, it's my money that's paying for their millions of dollars while I work 50 hours a week at a dead end job. Kind of, I don't know. It's kind of that mindset that I think a lot of people have when they watch these super rich NFL players and then they get on their pedestals. But
Yeah,
at the
because
same time,
yeah.
yeah. But at the same time, they're talking about unity there. It wasn't they weren't all saying Black Lives Matter, which
Yeah.
wherever you are in that, we're not going to get into it. We're probably spent too much time on this already. But this is about unity of just people in general, and I think a lot of people missed that sign of it.
It is very fascinating, and Mark will let you close out in a sec, but I would, to close on this, unless somebody else wants to add on, I think it's really fascinating that September 11th, 19 years later, today's the anniversary, that we are, at that time, there appeared, at least at the time, to be this huge outpouring of unity. This message of everyone had an American flag, and it wasn't really like this crazy nationalism thought process. It was a thought process of, hey, we're unified, we were attacked, we're Americans. And it's really interesting to see how far we've come in 19 years. And I think that's just really interesting and fascinating. And it's, I don't know how I would add on to that. But I do think there is something to say to the escape is something that people want. The escape is something people want. And we need to, I think for some people, they need to respect that. I think they do. So, Mark, anything else you'd want to finish off before we keep going on Hot or Snot?
Jesus tells us to love everybody and everyone. And I think no matter where it falls in our entertainment, in our lives, our escapes from our mundane lives, we need to be aware that people are not treated fairly in this country based on the color of their skin. And if you get bothered that it goes into your football and you don't want to watch football because a hashtag and racism is involved, maybe you need to look inwards and change yourself.
Excelsior.
Mic drop.
All right, let's get back to talking about goofy things that don't matter. I'll go this time on Hot or Snot to let the room cool off a little bit because I don't really care about anything on this one. I will get serious on one thing real quick. I'll talk about that was literally my snot, so I'm not even gonna. I have one more kind of snot thing, but I'll talk about that in a sec. I watched the movie Rewind. This is a documentary you can check out on Amazon Prime. This is one of the best documentaries I have ever seen, and it is a gut punch. This is a 6 out of 6. This one is the story of a filmmaker who was sexually abused as a child, and he goes through his life because his dad was a videographer and basically filmed all this stuff growing up, and he does a documentary on his life dealing with this and how he called out the family members that abused him and other people, and I won't get into that. I think you need to watch it to kind of believe what you're watching. This is a crazy story. It's a one of the most horrific stories you'll ever hear, but it's got a wonderful redemption ending. As weird as that sounds, like I wouldn't say redeeming for the abusers, but I'm saying redeeming for the filmmaker who was the victim. And I recommend this one highly. 6 out of 6. It's a tough watch. I think if you're a parent, it's a must watch to kind of just put that like, hey, this is something we should just be aware moving forward as parents that we should just be thinking through.
What was the name of it again?
This is called Rewind. It's a documentary. You can watch it on Amazon Prime right now. It's just fantastic.
Write it down.
It's watch it. It is like they talk about really tough stuff, so it's not one to watch with kids. But it's a great one if you want to sit down with your wife or significant other and watch this and have a dialogue about it. It'd be great. The Avengers Game just came out. Who else playing this game right now? I'm playing it, but who else is playing it?
Not yet. I want
Mark,
to, though.
you playing it?
I want it.
Mark, what's your rating of it so far?
I'd say I'd give it a 6 out of 6. It feels like a better version of what Fallen Order could have been, the Star Wars game.
Yeah, that's a really great comparison. I'm gonna give it a 6 out of 6 as well.
Interesting.
Kamala Khan already. I've only logged a couple hours in this, but Kamala Khan is fantastic in this one.
Me, Jared, and Zayd are all like,
Like,
what?
all right.
What?
Yeah.
What?
We were just talking about
Jedi
that
Fallen
statement, comparing it to Jedi Fallen Order. Or yeah, just
We'll talk.
Oh, yeah.
I'm super confused by that.
I mean,
We'll
no,
have words.
no. What I'm saying is, so
We'll
far,
have
like it just
words.
seems it's over the top of Fallen Order. Like I love Fallen Order. That's a 6 out of 6 game, but I just feel like the kind of the visuals we get with it and the gameplay is what Fallen Order to make Fallen Order a 12 out of 6 is what Avengers is right now.
Well, it feels like it's an enmeshment in the world, which is what Fallen Order. And I didn't play Fallen Order, but Fallen Order was what it promised, an enmeshment in this
yeah.
world, or worlds in that one. But I mean, that's what this is. You are enmeshed in the MCU, and you are playing as these characters, and you have options. It's not just like 2 or 3 choices. I know you guys have played the beta too, so you kind of have a feeling of what I'm talking about. This is a really great game, and I think and the story's heating up, and I really like it. 6 out of 6. I'm excited. Lovecraft Country. Robbie, I know you've watched this. Zane, I know you've watched this. This is on HBO. What is your guys' rating of this show?
So far, I'd probably give it a 5. It's around there. There's a lot of really good acting. There's a lot of really good. I don't guess I can't think of the word right now. The imagery is beautiful, especially in that first episode. The imagery that you pick up on, especially in the times that we're going in, it's pretty huge. I'm not on the fence. I don't think it's a scary show like you do. I think the last episode, the one where they bought the old house, and that one was the only one that had a little bit of a spookiness to it. All the other ones I wouldn't call them scary. It
calls itself a horror.
It's not
a horror.
If that's not a horror, like maybe that one episode,
Thriller?
at the end had a few. It's more of a thriller, I would say. It's tense.
I think
horror to Max.
a fair way to
for Max.
yes,
it's a
for
horror.
me it's a horror.
Apparently, Scott, it's a horror, but for everyone
Fantasy,
else,
it's fantasy
a
too, but it's fantasy, right? Like
Yeah,
that's really the great way to put it.
Oh, but it's a good show. It's a different show for sure, and you're gonna be a little.
It's unique.
confused. Yeah, it's very unique.
It's
but
unique.
It's worth the watch.
I'd give it a 5 out of 6 as well. Zane, go ahead. What are your thoughts on this?
Oh, I actually haven't had a chance to start it yet, but just the
You don't
fact
get a
that it
review.
is
You don't get
based-
to talk about it.
Well, no, I just
Oh, then don't talk about it. Yeah, then
it's
shut up,
based
Zane.
on Lovecraft.
Hey, I've read the H.P. Lovecraft books. Does that count?
No,
Right.
doesn't
the
Nope,
fact
that
it's
doesn't.
Lovecraft makes it appealing.
It is very interesting, and they address that right out the gate too,
Mm.
with some of the subject of his books. If you're familiar with those, I want to kind of dive
very
into this.
familiar with those.
Yeah, cool. We didn't ask.
We're very proud of you, Mark. Good for
Yeah,
you.
Mark,
you.
you're
That's
great.
what I want. I want the gold
Congratulations,
star.
Mark. Mark, you get a gold star. I went to go see Tenet in theaters. This was the Christopher Nolan movie that has been very widely discussed. Stars John David Washington, Elizabeth Debicki, Robert Pattinson, Aaron Taylor Johnson, Kenneth Branagh, Michael Caine, Fiona Dourif, and Himish Patel. This is I'll give you the synopsis, but you're really not going to get much out of it. Armed with one word, Tenet, and fighting for the survival of the entire world, a protagonist journeys through a twilight world of international espionage on a mission that will unfold in something beyond real time. This is actually a hot and a snot for me, and I'm going to describe this in a second. But I want to I'll talk about the snot first, then go into the hot. This is the worst edited Nolan movie by a mile in regards to sound. I have never watched a movie and been more trying to listen and not registering what people are saying than this one. Part of that is Nolan's wrote this over 5.5 years apparently, and Christopher Nolan is just on another level of thinking that I will never be at. So some of it is just he's very incredibly smart, and it's going to probably take me a couple times to watch this to really fully grasp what was being said by some people. However, I cannot dismiss the sound editing on this. For whatever reason, he wants to make the music more important than the dialogue, and I understand that's a tone thing, and I understand that's an artistic choice by him. I hated it, and it drove me nuts. I would actually fan-fortastic the sound editing. I would actually call it might be one of the worst sound edited movies I've ever watched. That being said, this movie is absolutely wonky, bonkers, bananas, whatever word you want to use. I'm giving it a 4 out of 6 simply because the sound editing is that bad to me. John David, this story is unbelievable. It's clear that he needed 5 years to do this story. I'll leave it at that, because it's very convoluted. This is a movie that you will need to watch more than one time minimum. I don't know if I'm going to go back to the theater to watch this, but this is one movie that I would say, if you're going to go to the theater right now and you feel comfortable in this COVID season to do that, this one might be the one you want to choose. John David Washington is unbelievable. John David Washington needs to play Jon Stewart. I'll put it that way. He is
6 out of
absolutely
6.
100%.
he is unbelievable in this movie. He is I want them to choose him for Jon Stewart right now, or any lead character in a DC or Marvel movie. John David Washington is the up and coming future. Mark, Robert Pattinson in this movie, that is our Batman. I will put it to you that way. He is dynamite in this movie. Their chemistry is remarkable. This story is out of this world. I'm not going to say anything about the story past you need to watch this. Do not drink too much soda. You cannot go to the bathroom in this one. You can't miss a second of dialogue. You need to be watching carefully, because things are happening throughout the whole movie that you're trying to piece together. John David Washington is remarkable. Robert Pattinson's absolutely fantastic. And Kenneth Branagh is already, I would argue, in the Stanleys at the end of the year, he might be my best actor choice. Kenneth Branagh in this movie is absolutely dynamite. The sound editing is that bad in this, though, people. I would probably give this a 5 or a 6.
That bad.
It's that bad in this.
Do you think it was a sound editing, or do you think maybe the theater just had their sound?
So I've listened to
yeah.
a couple podcasts on this, Robbie. It's interesting you say that, but I've heard it from several different people who have seen this movie on several different podcasts. I'm gonna go
Now
see
I
it
wanna
one more
go
time.
just to see it in theaters.
But this,
for that.
it's one of those things too where they're like, the music is so loud. The kind of only comparison I can give is Inception, but it's not Inception. The movie's not Inception. It's like loud music, and they are just like, it's the quickest ping pong match of dialogue you'll ever watch. It is very intelligent. There are things that I did not fully understand what was going on till about one point in the movie. Then it all started to click for me because they showed it to you.
Like Rick and Morty intelligent.
Yeah, yes, like Rick and Morty intelligent. So I recommend Tenet. It's one of those movies that I'm not like, I like Nolan, but I don't live and die by Nolan like some people do. This is a must see in theaters, I think. If you can get to the theater, this is a must see in theaters. This one's crazy. This one's going to be tied to COVID forever. I think they made a terrible choice releasing it now. I think they should have waited. I think more people would have seen this. I think people would have gone to this multiple times. I want to go a second. I think this is a multiple viewing movie. This is kind of one of those movies that you're going to walk out of going, and you're not going to be able to stop reading about it, as it looks like we lost Jared. So just that's Tenet. You can check that out right now in theaters. But Mark, Robert Pattinson's going to be a great Batman just off this movie. I can tell you that right now. Their chemistry.
If you
is
saw
just
Lighthouse,
absolutely
you-
remarkable.
Great actor.
Say it again, Robbie.
He's a great actor.
He's a great actor, but him and John David Washington.
He has Twilight to start him off, and everyone sees the glittery
And
vampire.
one small spoiler for it's a small spoiler. It's not going to ruin the movie, but like it deals with this concept of things moving in regards to time backwards. I'll leave it at that. And John David Washington has a scene where he is fighting someone, and they are going backwards when he's fighting them. None of that was digital. It was all done as a stunt. They practiced it. So that person was fighting him backwards. And it looks absolutely, it's visually something you'll never see again. So go check this out if you can in theaters. So Zane, I'll pass it off to you.
Oh my goodness, my turn, eh? All right, we'll speed through this here. Let's get my thing open. All right, I got two things a piece. The one we kind of already hit on earlier, the hot with the Xbox All Access. Like I said, we kind of already talked about that. I thought that was very clever. All about that. My other hot
Could you explain the all access really quick? I think there's people out there that don't understand what that
so
means
basically,
or what that is.
like you're able to get Microsoft's going through a bank, and then they basically approve you for all access. And by doing that, you don't pay any money up front. Instead, you make monthly payments on the console, and then included in those payments is Game Pass. So you're not paying the lump sum of the 300 or whatever for the S and X.
Yep.
So if you're approved for this, yeah, it gives a monthly payment program. You get the hardware, you get the console, and then you pay it off, and then in that payment is Game Pass included instead of one lump sum. So
A great option for the getting the little Xbox,
Yep.
whatever. What's the small one?
the Series S.
The S.
Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I have to give him props on that. The other hot, which was an interesting little thing I found. I'll have to look for the article I found this in. But for the first time in 34 years, vinyl sales have topped CD sales.
Wow.
Which
Interesting.
was a very interesting thing when I read that.
It's interesting.
But it's a very huge. I think it's very much nostalgia driven. People are going back to wanting to use vinyl, and yeah, so for the first time in 34 years, vinyl sales have topped CD sales.
That's crazy.
And so I was like, huh.
Makes sense. Makes sense though.
Oh yeah. So that was pretty cool. The snot for me, real quick, is remember a couple weeks ago, whenever I was at home, and then people suddenly started getting mysterious seeds from China. That whole
Yep.
thing.
Oh yeah.
Well,
Around the murder hornet time.
apparently, yeah. Well, apparently someone like scoured through all the records, and people from what were writing to the agricultural departments, hundreds, possibly thousands of people went and planted these seeds. And I'm putting that on my snot because if you got seeds you didn't order, why are you planting them? Why are you using anything that you didn't order? Like, no.
You just
like, I
know
don't
that,
care.
like, if
Like,
yeah, you just know that that's a Moose thing to do. You know, Alan Moose got those. Like, I should plant these to see what
We're gonna
happens.
get
I got
Zane. We're gonna get kaiju's.
Yeah, exactly. They're gonna grow out of the ground, and it's just gonna be the end of the world.
Maybe
Like,
20-story tall monsters.
Zane's
Yeah,
just got all the
exactly.
interesting random tidbits for his hut and stuff.
Or the reality,
Right.
they plant them and then it becomes invasive and infects all our natural plants and kills everything we know in America. You
It's
know,
not
whatever.
fun.
Or
biological warfare.
That's
man.
not fun. That's not kaiju fun. Jeez, I want
Yeah, that's not
Pacific
kaiju.
Rim.
Or
No,
it's
yeah.
the villain from Guardians of the Galaxy 2, and we're just gonna be taken over by Kurt Russell soon.
Well,
I'm
I'm
fine
down
with
for
that.
that.
I'm all
'cause
in.
Kurt
Don't
Russell-
hate that.
I'm all in.
Alright,
We're
and then-
all in.
Go
I
on.
don't want to be taken over by Kurt
Yes.
Russell.
All right, my last snot
I don't want
though,
that.
is so I don't remember the name of the company, but they got an AI to write an essay on why
Oh my
humans
gosh.
should not fear AI.
We've talked about this over and over, Zane. You and I have talked about this so much. This is so stupid.
That-
What are people doing?
That essay is exactly the reason why we should fear AI. The entire
It's an essay about why you shouldn't. Zane. You
I
don't
know,
get
but
it.
they released the entire essay online. You can go and read it. And
Yeah.
I'm telling you, as you're reading this, you're like, this is why we don't have AI.
Exactly.
This is why we need to get rid of it. This is the
Yeah, that's
prequel to
ridiculous.
some
Is
sort
it,
of
is it
thing.
like is it super smart? Like just describe it because I'm not gonna read it.
So basically, like some of the points on it is like it goes into how it has no interest in hurting people. It wants to better people. It notices how
Better people.
people are more caught on violence, whereas it's an AI. It doesn't want violence. But
Right.
It realizes
Exactly. That's iRobot, dude.
it realizes that
Jeez.
it
Done.
would be unbeneficial to anger humans because then humans would be able to start going after the AI, but then it due to the
This sounds like
AI's
Terminator with extra
non-violence
steps.
programming wouldn't allow it to be destroyed. Like
This
you
is-
read this whole essay and you're like, this is why we fear AI. I don't care.
But that AI
This is
knows
crazy.
that it can't include until they like change the programming.
Exactly.
That AI
like,
already knows that we're not changing.
I'll have to share that.
We would never
I'll-
change the programming.
Yeah,
Wink,
I'll,
wink.
I'll have to
Oh my
share that
gosh.
because you read that essay and you're just like,
Yeah.
this is creepy. This is really
2020,
creepy.
man. 2020 is wild. Zane, any more before we move on?
Nope, that's what I got.
I'm realizing we got to start picking up the pace here. We're
Nah, we're
all
good.
very
Yeah,
long-winded tonight.
we're
It's a
fine.
Friday night.
we're sorry
Robbie,
I'm
go ahead.
political.
Speaking of, it's great. Robbie, go ahead. I went off on
Speaking
Tenet
of
too. It's my
long-winded, go ahead. I'm gonna do my so I have a middle of the pack. I have a hot snot guy. Okay, you guys talked about it. I think might have been a few podcasts ago, but The Way Back with Ben Affleck on
Yes.
it's now
Yep.
on
Yeah.
HBO Max. So that movie I enjoyed. At the same time, as a father, I hated that movie. Because now, and Isaac has talked about this on the podcast, I think we've talked about it a little bit, but when you watch a movie that has to do with very emotional things, it really hurts as a dad now. And that movie
Absolutely.
punches fathers in the face. And my daughter was sick at home, so I was at home watching her, and she was taking her nap, so I decided to watch that movie by myself. And I'm just downstairs during a couple scenes bawling, just crying my eyes out, like thinking, oh, if that was my kid, like what would I even do? And Hot's not that movie. It's actually a pretty good movie, but it hurts. I don't
What's your rating for the people at home? Rating.
I would give it a 4.5. I think I think you should watch it. It's not the greatest movie in the world, but I think you should watch it.
I think you should be I think you should be nominated for an Oscar for it.
You think Ben?
I think Affleck should be. I think Ben Affleck should be nominated for an Oscar for that.
I mean, it's a very Ben Affleck role. It would be my only argument, I guess. But it fits. It's a good role for him. So I'm gonna start with my snots. I am snotting, and I guess this could also be a hot, but it's mostly a snot for me. But Seven Deadly Sins finally had another season come out, season 4 come out, which is more like season 3 because one of the seasons was like a shortened thing. It's an anime on Netflix. Okay, so season 4 just came out. I watched through all of season 4. Once again, and this is probably just an anime thing, but it annoys the crap out of me. But they'll lead you on through a story, and it's not really a cliffhanger that they end you with. It's just the end of that season. And you didn't finish the story out. You didn't finish anything. You just have to wait now. And I know that's more of kind of an anime thing, but it's really annoying when you just get to the point where you think the story is going to end, and then they end the season. And it's really frustrating. I know that's a lot of people probably will not care. I don't know if Zane has watched all of Seven Deadly Sins yet. But it just annoys me. I think there's a big one that I'm surprised that no one else talked about. I was going to leave it off because I assume Zane or Max is going to talk about it. And probably because we've talked about it before, but I'm snotting all the information that we're still getting on cuties, the over-sexualization of young girls on Netflix, and Netflix apparently just doesn't give a crap about. They're just accepting making pedophilia a normal thing because Hollywood elites apparently enjoy that. I don't want to go into it. It's upsetting, especially as a father of a daughter, and I know because I don't want to get upset.
Because this is what I'm seeing online is now being splitting politically. If you are not for ending racism, you're a Republican, but if you're for pedophilia, you're a Democrat. So that's if you're for cuties, so it's like, why do either of those things have to be political? They should both be universally a human thing that we're all against. So,
it's honestly just a frustrating thing, and that's why I don't really want to get into it.
Right.
I feel like we could spend a lot of time talking about it.
And the more people talk
I'm
about
honestly
it,
I'm already upset talking about it.
Right. Ironically, the more people talk about it, the more press you're giving it.
Yeah. And it's terrible. So then the only other hot I have besides the Lovecraft Country that you already talked about it would be Raised by Wolves, which is another HBO Max show that just came out this week with a 3-episode premiere. And they're having shows coming out on Thursdays. Show that I had no idea anything about, when it first aired. I just threw it on, I don't know, it looked cool. At first I thought it was an anime like the HBO Max was doing because the first picture of the art looked like a drawing. But it's not at all. It's really, really cool. It's futuristic. It's two group. It's atheists versus the followers of Saul. They have a name, but I can never remember. It's just easier to call it the followers of Saul. Basically, Christians. They're not Christians, but it's followers of Saul. And they go to this other planet. It's really confusing. I can't explain it to you. If you're into sci-fi, dramatic thrillers, definitely watch this show. It's really enjoyable. I'm really enjoying it. I like it more than Lovecraft Country. So I would give that a 6. 4 episodes in. That's a 6 for me. And that's all I have. That's it.
Yeah, let's go to you.
I think we missed that, Max. Your audio is a little
What was
funky.
Jarrett,
There we go.
Jarrett, let's go to you.
I got 3 hots, but I'll keep them real quick. Into the Breach, we played it on Team Rocket Tuesday.
Buddy.
This, I think, was it free Epic game?
Yeah.
Where did I pick this up?
Free
Isaac?
Epic game.
Epic.
Yep.
This is like, it's mechs versus kaijus, which is great, and it's a strategy game. I was like, I feel bad because it was Team Rocket Tuesday, but I was so like absorbed in this game. This is 1,000% my jam because it's a
Yeah, it
really
looked
nice
awesome.
like, dude, it's like this great logistics puzzle wrapped up in a kaiju versus mech game. It's fantastic. Check it out. Second hot, and I've talked about this before. I finally got around to finishing Middle West. It's a comic by Scotty Young. So the basic premise is it's the journey of this kid running away from home in a fictional version of the Midwest that's like a mix between sci-fi and fantasy, right? So there's these incredible robots, but there's also wizards, and it's Scotty Young, so you know the art is just out of this world great. This is one of the most emotional joyrides I've ever been on. This is the only, and I will fully say this on air and support this 100%. You can at me all day, whatever you want. I cried reading the end of this comic book. It is so if you've never read an indie comic in your life, I don't know if Image counts as indie, but pick this comic up and tear into it. There's a whole through line, and I won't get too much into it because I don't want to spoil it. There's a whole through line about cycle of violence and the cycle of abuse that kids face, and it was like, it shook me to my core. It was absolutely well written. The art is gorgeous. Check this comic out. It's called Middle West by Scotty Young. My third hot is Christian and I busted out Howl's Moving Castle. We're on a Studio Ghibli run right now. That movie still holds up, guys. If nothing else,
It does.
I will watch that movie
100%.
1,000 times for 2 things. 1, Billy Crystal is the voice of the fire demon, and 2,
Right.
the food. Man, we've talked about this a million times.
Bro.
Studio Ghibli food is like, that's my hots. I have 0 snots for this week. You guys already
I
hinted
love
that
anime
I would
food.
snot.
I know
Same.
Robert will love that.
Robert
I said that
loves
on
his
air, but
anime
I
food.
love anime
Man.
food.
Oh, so good.
Anime food like looks so good.
All right, Isaac, close this out, and then we'll do our last giveaway and close out the show. I think we'll do
guys.
we'll do the
here
top
we go.
5, but we'll move quick.
Got just a couple quick things. For my hots, my first thing is the Fortnite Marvel Battle Pass. Man, I've not been playing Fortnite basically for about 6 months now, and this roped me back in because they've got some sick skins. They've got a Storm skin, Groot, Wolverine, Iron Man. Like it's really good. Thor. They've got a bunch of good stuff. So if you guys are into Fortnite or were into Fortnite, definitely make sure you go check that out because it is awesome. Just wrote me right back into it. My next hot, is I just recently restarted among all the things that I haven't watched. I always end up rewatching things for some reason. So I started rewatching Scrubs, which is one of my favorite shows of all time.
Oh,
And
So
man, like the thing about Scrubs is you can't look at it and say this is the best show of all time. You probably can't even put it in a top 5 or a top 10, but it makes you feel so good. Like you watch this show and my spirits are just lifted by watching this show like immediately. It's
JD and Turk, man.
They're such a good relationship. Like, one of the best relationships in TV. Like so awesome. So that is my second hot. I only have one.
Okay, so I'm sorry, Isaac.
No,
Isaac,
go for it.
it's new girl. It's new girl in a hospital.
Basically,
Isn't that kind of
you could
what?
say that.
It's kind of what it is.
Yeah.
I think New Girl's better.
Oh yeah.
But yeah,
As a show,
I
it's
get
better,
I get the thought process.
I would
get
put
the
them
thought
about the
process.
same.
You get the
And this is
feels,
the first
though.
time I've watched
When
it.
you watch
So I'm
Scrubs,
still kind of a new girl newbie, but
I hear that
I love
Superman
Scrubs
theme
so much,
song,
dude.
and I'm just like,
Scrubs is so good.
so good, so good.
I love Scrubs.
Yeah. So,
Winston.
anyways, I just have one thing on my snot. So I watched a
Yes,
Netflix
go.
special, The Lovebirds. It's a Netflix original movie with Kumail Nanjiani and Issa Rae as the main characters. It's basically a typical rom-com, and honestly, like, it was a fine watch. What's that?
Did your wife make you watch that?
No, actually, we've been trying to watch. We don't really watch movies together for the sole reason of that she doesn't like the stuff that I like. So we've been trying to watch movies together, and I'm honestly just up for watching whatever and new stuff. So so we watched it, and honestly, it was like a one-time watch thing. Like, if you are into rom-coms, you might enjoy it, but at 3 out of 6, it was fine. Kumail and Issa Rae are actually good actors, but the movie just gets more and more ridiculous as you keep watching it, and it is funny. It's funny. It's got some good parts in it, but overall, it was like a one-time watch. I'll probably never watch it again. So that's on my snot list. So that's all I've got for my hot and my snot.
Should we do another giveaway or go to the top 5?
Let's do our game and our giveaway right now. So for you guys that are still in chat, we are doing one more giveaway. Well, two actually more giveaways, but this one is a trivia based giveaway. Okay, so we're gonna play some Get to Know Your Infinity Bros. All right, you guys are gonna enter your answers in chat. I'm gonna keep track here of how many people get it right, and whoever gets the most points at the end of this is going to be the winner. Okay, so I'm gonna actually just grab a pen here quick. I wish I had some.
Wait.
What?
Why does Max have a giant bear on his bed? Just
Oh my!
There's a giant bear chilling in the background.
Is Robert Smartneck coming over later?
Robert,
What the world
why are
is
you
going
at
on?
Max's house?
That is
Robert.
a little creepy there.
Robert.
Okay.
Max, what's
Hey,
happening?
Max,
Everybody,
is
again,
the Robert
Robert
coming
just
over later?
emerges. Robert just emerges by holding
Hi,
my
guys.
corpse, throws it on the floor.
It all of a sudden just moves, sits up. Robert sticks his head up.
1 down, 5 to go.
Okay, so we are going to play a game of Get to Know the Infinity Bros. So I'm going to ask a question. You guys are going to enter it in chat. I'll give you 10 seconds or 15 seconds to answer just because we are running short on time here. But we're going to answer a couple Infinity Bro themed questions. Whoever gets the most points wins a Infinity Bros t-shirt. Woo!
Except for Robert, because Robert already won.
Robert, yeah, you're ineligible, Robert.
Robert
You
can
still answer the
play
questions,
and
though.
prove that he's really smart, but he can't win.
All right, so number 1. What were the group now known as the Infinity Bros previously known as in our previous lives? What were the group now called the Infinity Bros previously known as? Dang, Comics in the Cross with the... They take that first one real quick. Smarty, they even beat Smarty. Comics knows us better than Smarty does.
Ooh, must be nice.
Who answered HFF first?
All right, Comics in the Cross. You got that.
How would they
point.
know that?
Question number 2. Who was the last member to join the Infinity Bros? Who was the last member to join the Infinity Bros? You have all your options.
While people
here.
are typing, I do think it's really funny that
I
Mark
don't even know
just
that.
Mark looks
don't
like
even
he's
know that
been
either. I
sitting
have no
back in
idea.
his Mark has been sitting back in his chair, just looking like he's plotting to kill Narnia.
Yes.
All right, I'll give
Quite.
you guys 5 more seconds here.
Yes.
We got
Yes.
nobody answered it correctly here. Does anybody
Yes.
on Infinity Bros know that? I'm assuming
Well,
one
Robbie
of them
and I are
knows
out.
that. Cross pulls it out again. Jarrett was the last
Damn
person
stupid.
Wait,
to join.
Max, wasn't I the first person you called?
I called.
we had the off-topic gamers going.
We were the off-topic gamers before,
Oh, I
and
see.
and
That's
Jarrett
right.
was we
I
were
was not an
going and
off-topic
doing
gamer.
stuff for a while before Jarrett joined us as the off-topic
That's
gamers,
correct.
and then we changed into the
Right.
Infinity Bros. So maybe that's a little bit of a trick question. Cross
Off
is just,
Topic Gamers
Cross
was
is just
more.
listing off all the names.
Because you can't just guess everybody. That's not how this works.
Okay, number 3. What was the date of the first episode of the Infinity Bros podcast? Bonus,
That's a
what was the
garbage
topic?
question.
Okay,
That's a garbage question.
Hey, that's been deleted though.
the Infinity
That's
Bros.
been deleted.
It's back somehow. I don't know how it's back, but it's
Max
back.
doesn't like that episode.
Max
get rid of
doesn't
it.
like it.
Is
Guys,
that the one where we talk about
couple
the,
more.
I would say
the Star Wars trailer?
No. Well, now you just gave it away, Max.
a couple
I
more
remember the month and the
hints
topic. I
for
don't remember
this.
the
Well, they had
date.
like 10
Check out
seconds. They had 10 seconds to
theinfinitybros.com.
get going if they wanted
Here's
to.
the list.
Topic was not Endgame. Topic was not
It was
Endgame.
not Endgame.
Not Endgame. Oh, geez. 12, 13, 14.
That's-
How long you think we've been doing this, Moose? Jeez. Okay.
Who's gonna get the date?
Cross is... He's like on his game right now. He's like...
Cross
he
wants
really
a
wants to
shirt.
win this t-shirt.
So would it
Game of
be? That
Thrones.
would
Yeah,
be
we talked about
April
Game of
17th,
Thrones and
right?
Star
It was
Wars
April
and Star
17th.
Wars.
Yep,
Yeah.
it was April 17th.
That was April
Game of
17th.
Thrones
Yeah. Mhm.
No
was
Joe
the-
Penguin coming.
Justin, just missed it. Just missed it. All right, we've got
That
another
was the
one,
one
though.
where
Broke
that
it.
was the episode where I was like trying to like ask questions about a show that I've never watched in my life. That was
That
a lot
was-
of
Max
fun.
is asking
right.
me about Game of Thrones. Just like answer these.
And Robbie's just killing it. He's just doing just
tried my
absolutely
best.
giving us great
Good
content.
Lord.
And I'm just out here like, yes.
All right.
So this Game of Thrones.
How many games are they
Show.
playing?
How many thrones do they have?
Question
play
How many
number
aliens
4.
are in it?
I'm confused.
Question number 4. How long is the longest episode of the Infinity Bros podcast? Too bad Scott's not here because he would be.
I know
Just
what
have
episode that
heyday.
is too. I
And
know exactly
what
which
was
episode
the
it is.
topic of that episode for a bonus?
Robert.
Shut up, Robert.
This one, well, I mean, we're coming up on it, so
Isaac has said that I don't have to edit this, so we can make it as long as we
I know
want.
the answer to this one. I'm pretty sure.
it's all
You
up
don't
to
edit
me.
the live one. You just put it out there.
I mean, I'm
You're
wrong.
not wrong.
Oh, Moose is right. Right? Would that count?
The one where Robbie thought Ash
Nope.
was snow, Robert says.
Yeah, that hurt. Yeah, that hurt. Isn't Moose right? Because we did that 24-hour
Moose,
stream.
It's not a.
Ooh,
Okay,
that's
that's
is-
not that's not an episode
I-
of the podcast, though.
Yeah, it's
I
not a
specifically
podcast.
said episode of the Infinity Bros podcast.
Oh, jeez.
Hey, Co-op, thanks for hanging out. Appreciate you. 2 hours, 30 minutes. Comics, you're
Aren't you
actually
actually- I
not
thought you were
correct there,
asking
but
what
you're the
episode-
closest that anybody's come.
I feel like Moose has to get those points there. I
That
feel
wasn't
like
a
I
podcast.
feel like
Give Moose a
Moose
pity
needs those
point.
points.
I
feel
I
like
think
we should
Moose
give it
needs
to
those
Moose.
points.
All right, we'll give Moose a pity
That's a
point.
really great. That's a great point that we didn't make.
It was
I think Moose-
episode
He knows
2,
He knows we did that.
151 minutes, 2 hours and 31 minutes.
Oh, gosh, I remember
And-
that episode. I
yeah.
remember at the end, I was like, "Oh my gosh, we were on there for
Like,
2.5 hours."
that was the
What
one
did we
with
even
me, you,
talk
and
about in
Zane,
that?
right? And we just we didn't even realize how long we were going. We looked at the clock and it was like 2 hours, and we were like, "Oh,
Oh,
shoot!"
dude, that's every
Oh, God.
episode.
I thought-
That's every
I thought-
episode.
True.
That was the one where you guys came over and we sat in my living
Yeah,
room.
we did
remember?
a live episode.
That's
Yeah, that's
right.
No, we did the live episode, and like the other thing is, every time we sit down, I go, "Man, we are not gonna have enough to get this." Like today, I was like, "Man, we have a really
it's
short
okay.
list."
You're up like 3-1.
Yeah, I think you're gonna
You're
win
doing-
comics. So just take a chill pill, right?
Well, if he continues to push the issue, we might just give it to Nitro. He better calm down.
Zane sucks.
Just to spite Cross.
Just
just to spite
send it
Cross
to
we're gonna give it
Nitro.
to Nitro.
Nitro's
All right.
like, "Why'd I get all this free stuff?"
Number 5. Number 5. What was the date of the first article that was posted on the Daily Snap?
What kind
And
of
bonus,
questions are these,
what was
Isaac?
the
I don't even know
topic?
the answers to
That's a
these.
great question.
Yeah.
What's the
that's a
other
great
set of
question.
questions? What happened to the Get to Know an Infinity
Hey,
Bros?
that's
segment?
coming
Are
up.
we doing
That's
that?
coming up.
Yeah, like,
This is
what-
the Infinity
was
Bros
that
color
segment.
pattern looks best on Mark? Floral or plaid?
Mark, that's floral. Stop being ridiculous. We
Floral.
all know the answer.
All right, so what was
Goodness.
the
Or
date
Berkshire.
of the
Or
first
6 out
article
of
that was
6.
posted on the Daily Snap? If nobody answers,
It
we'll
is-
just move on. So, all right, February 27th.
I'm excited the
There
Cross
you go.
is just on our
Cross.
website.
Cross got it again.
Ross says he wants
Everything.
his validation, and Moose just doesn't know what's going on.
Oh,
No Chill
Chill's-
Penguin said floral,
is
so-
floral, obviously. Okay, all right. Now we're
Well,
getting,
obviously
now we're
bonus points for
getting
No
into the
Chill.
good stuff. All right, now we're getting into the Infinity Bro specific
we have-
questions. Number
there's
6.
more?
You can't just look this up.
Which
Just wait.
This is from your heart here. After this is stuff you can't look up. This is you got to listen to the podcast and you got to know us. And if you know us, you still might.
Wait, Isaac.
What?
They only get one guess, right? Because otherwise, someone could just write all the names.
Technically, yes.
This is your chance.
Yeah, one guess. You get one guess for each of these. Good point. Good point.
Your
Robbie.
first.
This is
your
your moment.
first
Your
name
first
is the
guess.
only guess.
All right. Which in number
Unless we
6?
get
Which
football.
Infinity Bro are you most likely to find working out or at the gym?
What kind of dumb question is this?
Everybody knows it. Everybody knows it.
And Comics the Cross pulls that one out
It's just not
again.
even.
Kelly Jones, Robbie.
Kelly. Kelly's here with us.
Zane.
Zane,
Yeah.
Zane,
Terrible
definitely
question.
Zane.
Zane.
Oh, we all got Robbie. Everybody
so he
knows
can
it's Robbie.
critique Robbie, right?
But
Robbie with
Cross is the first
Robbie
one to
with
get it.
terrible form. We need to make a note that Robert did say that.
Terrible form.
Hi, Kelly.
Yeah.
Number
The
7.
question was not who had the best form when they worked out. That is not the question.
Check this.
Number 7. Which Infinity Bro has lived in the country of Spain?
Oh my gosh.
Got him.
That's a good one. That's a really good
Hey,
one.
Smarty. Okay,
Hey,
Smarty
Smarty.
tallies his first point there.
Smarty. On the board.
Comments in the cross. Zane would never leave the
Comics
That's
guess.
silly.
Comics
Zane would
guess
never
Zane.
leave.
Zane's never left Minnesota.
Zane loves
Don't be
America too
ridiculous,
much.
Cross.
He's too patriotic.
I went to Canada.
Shut up.
For
Zane.
how long? Did you accidentally cross the border when you were
correct,
canoeing?
Smarty.
What'd you do?
That is Max. All right,
Wait,
number
tell
8.
ya.
Zane
You went
Zane
too
tried
far,
to
go home now.
invade Canada by himself.
All right, number
You're
8.
going down, Canada.
Sorry, go ahead, Isaac.
Which Infinity Bro has attended an Olympic hockey game? I love the silence right after I asked the question for a little bit.
Still, and
Like who is
I
that?
gave you a great information
Maybe.
about me, and you
Maybe.
choose
I feel
like
like
the obvious thing in
I
the world.
agree with
Later in
Robbie.
the
The question that
questions.
we put out there earlier about me, I thought was way better than the one you chose.
Jeez.
We don't
Never
actually
answered this
have
again.
anybody that has answered it correctly yet. That was a good question, I think, because I wouldn't have known either. Little bits. All right, we got nobody that answered it correctly. All right. Well, if there's anybody else in chat, there's literally one Infinity Bro that has not been mentioned in chat. So if you want to get that free point,
Okay.
go for it.
Guy.
Hey. No,
Max.
you don't get it. You don't get it.
In your big dumb face, everybody else in the chat.
Okay, it was Jarrett, surprisingly. 2002. Interesting. All right, well, Smarty, you already said
No,
Mark, so
no,
you don't
Robert
get the
doesn't.
point.
Robert does not get it. I
No.
get those ones.
Okay, question number 9. Which Infinity Bro was born in a home bathtub?
I feel like I should know this.
I don't even know this.
Zane, you were born in a home bathtub?
I'm guessing. I would guess. Yeah.
Cross says, what
Zane
the
as
hell
well.
did Jarrett go to a hockey game for?
I would guess Zane. Zane didn't even go to school, so like why would he go to a hospital?
Cross better be careful speaking about hockey like that. Zane's gonna come
I
kill
love
him.
hacky.
Hacky.
Kill him.
Yeah,
Hockey.
you better watch it.
Oh wait, I
Some
know
of us
who
actually like
hockey.
I know who it is.
Is it an obvious coach for the girls?
for the girls.
I know who this one is.
You want me
now.
to take
I know
a
who it is.
test? I'll take it.
Come
Max.
on,
I've
Heb.
heard that.
Come on, Heb.
No one's guessed it yet.
We do not have the correct answer yet. In
I
chat.
know who this is now. I remember because I've heard this story from your mother. I'm pretty sure.
Say hi to your mother for me.
How do you motherfucker?
Hey, donkey. Hey, donkey. I like your fur. I produced Entourage.
No Chill Penguin, Justin pulls
There
it
you go,
out.
yeah.
Hey,
It was
Justin.
me. I was born in
Isaac,
my
I remember
bathtub
that,
at
'cause your
home.
mom. Wait,
You were
your
born in a
mom and-
bathtub, Isaac?
I was born in a
Jimmy
bathtub at
Christ.
home.
What a... Gosh.
Now he saves lives. So there you go.
Yeah, I guess it was, just my blood. Now
Well, you had to save your own because you were born in a
He was
bathtub.
born in a bathtub.
All right,
What kind
so
of bathtub-
number
what kind of bathtub was
what
it?
are we on? Question number 10. Which Infinity
I'm
Bro
dying
is
here.
currently single and ready to mingle?
Oh. So let me give you guys his cell number real quick and some contact information to get out to your friends. We're actually giving away more than a T-shirt. His mom and dad are giving away $20,000 if you can get
A
him
dowry
wife.
for
So
for him.
it is a dowry. I know. You look at Zane and think that's not a guy that has a dowry on him, but
This
he does.
was not one of the questions I gave you, Isaac.
He's born on February 13th. He loves long walks on the
so
beach.
good, too.
The people are going to
Zane's
answer. So
questions
Smarty
are
gets
so
that one. He
stinking
answered
good.
Zane first.
Zane's
Strangely
questions are
enough,
so
we
intimate.
always
Max, we're
refer to
starting our own
Smarty as
podcast.
Zane's wife. So.
Hey guys, welcome to the Zane and Max podcast, where we try to get Zane a girlfriend.
in the morning.
Where it's just Max talking to himself because Zane never shows up.
Max
All
and
right.
Zane in the morning.
We've got two left. All right.
Praise
Number
God.
11. Which Infinity Bro has attended multiple pro wrestling events?
If you guess me, just go ahead and shut your mouth.
Oh wow, comics!
I don't know.
Comics actually beat Smarty. I thought for sure Smarty was gonna.
Robert, you're an
get that
idiot.
one.
There's
felt like
only
a
one
layup
bro
for
left.
Robert.
Like,
Yeah, if you listen to our podcast, you know who it is. So, make okay. Justin's just
I've had to
making
edit
people up
so
here.
many. I've had to edit so many AEW comments from Mark. It's so bad.
Sorry
Comics
if I
is
have an
running away
opinion,
with
and
this
I'm not
one. He already
slobbering
has won
over it.
this
This is us.
giveaway, but we have
Well, if
one
he-
question
if he-
left. So, number
I have
12.
slobber over this like twice.
This is
You know what's funny?
arguably
I'm wearing a wrestling shirt right now.
Hold on. We got a question.
Stand up. Stand up. Is it tank top? Oh, it's not a tank top. Boo.
I can make it a tank top.
You better ask the question that Jarrett and I did. That for me. I want that one.
All right, so here
But
is
I
our
wanted
final.
mine too. I'm very proud of that.
Here is our final question.
Yours is good too, Robbie. Yours is really
Did I
good.
miss the submitting questions?
Yes, you did,
in our
Mark.
group chat?
I was waiting for you
Oh,
to submit
100%
one
you
better
missed it.
than I had.
Was it today? Because
Yeah, it was
I
today.
It
I
doesn't
didn't
was
matter
remember.
because Isaac isn't
today.
using any of the submitted questions
Yeah.
anyway.
He's not using
Zane's
them
really-
anyway.
He used mine, and that's
He
it.
just used Jared's.
I'm very proud
Isaac
of
didn't
mine.
use mine. I'm
Last
really sad.
question.
Very proud of mine.
Question number 12. Which Infinity Bro once ate 14 hot dogs to set a flag football supper record in the 6th grade?
Really? You passed up the sword question? I had the sword ready the whole time. I've had this. Yeah, Jared, good night. I had the sword right here. I was like, oh, everyone's going to guess Zane. Then they're all going to guess Mark. It's like, oh my gosh, the sword's going to be so fun. What a great reveal that'll be. I'll pull the sword up. Oh my
Also,
We have
Are we
multiple,
talking
we have
about
multiple
swords,
Infinity Bros
Ladies.
that have swords.
Ladies, look out.
Oh,
I'm
boy.
taking.
Robbie's going to get his sword too. He's got he's got an axe, right?
Max, I also
Oh,
have a
there
sword.
we go. We do
I also
have a
an
sword.
Oh my gosh, you could get rid.
Is-
You
does-
could have my
Dude,
sword.
Wait,
Boys.
Mark, you have
Get
you
your
have that
sword.
sword that I gave you for your
Get your
wedding still,
fedora.
right? Or did you throw it away? Because that would hurt my feelings.
Would I throw away any gifts my friends gave
Okay,
me?
thank you.
No, because I'm
No,
not.
Mark has a
tested.
sword. He just doesn't have it in
So
Narnia.
do all of
Don't be
us have swords
ridiculous, Isaac.
except for Zane?
I don't need a sword going into
Yeah,
Narnia. The
imagine
sword's
that.
already in there.
All
I can
of
just
us-
walk
That
right
gets
over
made
there
fun of.
and get the sword. It's
For having
behind
started,
that
I'm the
tree.
only one
It's
that
right
doesn't
behind
have
that
one.
You know, Zane,
Wait, they
it's
don't
like saying
have
you're the only one
sword?
that doesn't have a fedora.
Oh my gosh.
I'm
Max,
not
just sit there with
Holly.
your sword on your shoulder. Don't move it. That's fine.
Well, Mark,
okay,
thank
you
you
got it.
Look, cool
for
people
not
do.
Do you want-
disappointing me. I
Does it look
appreciate
better across
I
or
don't know.
like this?
Smarty got the answer correct.
Yeah.
I did once eat
Save
14
for
hot
some
dogs
cheese bump
in the
at.
6th grade.
No, we all
Dude.
have weapons in our.
Dude, I look so cool right now. It's like unbelievable how cool I look. All right, can we go to the top 5 now?
Above average at best. We gotta do a giveaway.
Can we go to the top
All
5?
right, so that was it. Comics, you won the T-shirt. That is the giveaway. We'll do the pop giveaway at the end of our top 5. So yeah, let's go top 5.
Okay.
I'm gonna go pee. So
Let's go to the top 5. Are you gonna play the bumper?
Yeah, actually, let's do that before I.
Why don't you
leave
play the
This is
for
bumper?
actually really
pee.
Play
happy.
the
I'm gonna
bumper.
put-
Yeah, why don't I play the bumper? It's a great idea, Max. I love the ideas that you come up with.
Can you imagine if Cross just said that if they ban the channel for us having weapons out, how awesome would that be?
Starts
now.
Please.
Okay, all right. Top
That'd
5
be
is
a big
good. We're live with the top 5.
Did I talk during the
Just a little
the
bit.
bumper?
Just a little bit. It's fine. though.
That's fine.
It's fine.
look,
there
if
a
we're gonna
bumper?
get in trouble for having weapons on the show, then Robbie should really put those guns away.
Robbie needs to have some long sleeve T-shirts on, if you ask me.
I hope
Every week we
the
like to
sword
do
isn't
a-
visible behind this tree. This one right here.
Yeah. Yeah. You said it before. Yeah.
Right.
That's
I
the
just
second
wanted to
time
get
you
it out
said
there
that in 2
again.
minutes. Yeah. We
Hey,
get it. Yeah.
hey Max,
you-
I love you.
You want
and
to talk about the
respect you. I
AEW?
hope
Do you want to talk
continue
about
it.
the? Do you want to talk about
We
the
don't
AEW before we
do
go on?
this. Comics in the Cross. We don't do this live. We don't. I have no idea
Wow.
how long the bumpers are. And usually, like, we give like 5 seconds on the bumpers, like when we're doing the podcast, because Max can just like extend that, so it's not a big deal. So we don't know what to do when the
No,
bumpers
here's
are
what
going.
happens,
We
Cross.
can't hear
Here's
them.
what
Also,
happens.
like we can't hear them.
No, I can't hear them at all. The other thing is that Mark always talks through the bumpers. When I like try to do a space, he'll always say something because he knows it gets under my skin every time.
No, me.
Me.
He's like, I love it. People are watching. It's like, you guys have talked for a really long time. It's like, yeah, we know. We do this every week. Every week we like to do a top 5 water cooler discussion where we talk about something or things that have been going on throughout the previous weeks. Because it's our 50th episode, we wanted to keep it as generic but also difficult as we possibly could. So we went with our top 5 fictional characters. Zane, you're elbows deep in a sip. Why don't we start with you?
Amen, brother.
Zane, how many doozies have you had today?
I haven't had any. Surprisingly,
Zane, go ahead.
I know. All right, my top 5. My honorable mention is my wife.
My life.
Good night, everybody.
What about your As always, we love you 3000.
I'm gonna
See you
head
guys
out.
later.
Have a good night, everyone. Number 5 for me is Peter Parker, Spider-Man. Just
That's good.
because, like, how can you not?
Wait, Peter Parker or Spider-Man?
Yeah, hate to break
Or
it to
Peter
you.
Parker or Spider-Man.
We get a spoiler alert, Max?
Shut up. Number 4 is Jack Sparrow.
Ooh,
Dang,
Jack
that's a
Sparrow.
good one. All right.
All right.
You really mailed this one in, Zane, didn't you?
Zane was just like looking through his like Netflix account. What movies are in here? I like Jack
Let me
Sparrow.
see. My wife, Captain Jack Sparrow,
It's all downhill for my wife.
Barney the dinosaur.
Can you let
Keep going,
Zane
dude.
finish his top 5?
Sorry, go ahead, Zane.
Yeah, my goodness. Number 3, Sean Spencer from Psych.
Ooh, thought about him.
Number 2, Goku.
That's a-
Number 1, Darth Vader.
Actually, Sean Spencer's a great pick, Zane.
Great. That's great.
Zane, I'm sorry I made fun of your list, if that bothered you.
All right, next person.
Okay, oh, it bothered it. Well,
Wait, sorry.
this'll be Zane's
Pause
last
here.
episode.
Cross. The top 5 is the top 5 fictional characters. All right, top 5 fictional characters.
Fictional characters. I will go next because I have a long honorable mentions list.
We're not.
Jack
This
Pierce.
isn't charity.
Well, we're giving away T-shirts, so it's charity to cross. Jack Pearson from This Is Us, Peter Parker Spider-Man, Frodo Baggins, Clark Kent Superman, Gandalf the Grey and the White, and Captain America. Those would be my honorable mentions.
Any
Number
other
5.
Marvel or
it's not
DC
even-
characters not on the list?
That's it. Nope,
Any
that's
other
it.
one
That's
from
the
the
list.
Token Universe?
No,
No?
I've
Okay.
said what I needed to
continue.
say.
I'll let you give us your top.
Will you allow it? Do you allow it?
I'll allow it.
Number 5 is Winston Schmidt from New Girl.
Oof.
Number 4 is Michael Scott from The Office. Number 3 is Marty McFly from Back to the Future. Number 2 is Darth Vader, and number 1 is Tony Stark.
Oh. Okay.
Go ahead, Mark.
That's terrible.
That was
I've
Just do another.
it's
Just go do
awful.
some more
It's
lunges.
that was
my-
definitely
it's
a
my-
different
Both of them are
list.
just
That is
normal.
not
Do
what
some
I was
lunges, but
expecting
somebody
at all.
somebody needs to
It's
talk
like
about the
normal
lunges
people
while
on
you
a
doing them.
TV show.
all right.
No, Logan.
I have one honorable mention, and it's Jarrett.
Boom.
Number 5, Dr. Manhattan. Number 4,
Really?
the Toaster from Brave Little Toaster.
Shut up! I got mocked, and he's putting a toaster on his list.
Okay.
Time out.
Those
That's a
movies
great
are
take,
great.
though.
You shut your mouth.
Brave Little Toaster is probably more iconic than Ren and Stimpy, so.
Hell yeah, it is. Number 3, Kylo Ren. Number 2, Frank Miller's Batman. And then number 1, Leslie Knope.
Whoa. We are getting some very interesting lists here.
What?
I mean, I like it. I like the variety. That's nice.
Did you just say Leslie Nope?
He said Leslie Knope for number
He said
1.
Leslie
Yeah.
Knope.
Did I stutter?
Boy, did I stutter!
Have you
Oh,
lost
have
your
you
mind?
lost your mind? 'Cause
Your
I'll
mind.
never
Lost your
find it.
mind. Oh my gosh.
All right, go ahead, Jarrett.
All right. I didn't do honorable mentions because we'd be here all day.
There's so
Number
many,
5
dude.
is Izuku
Heard that.
Midoriya or Deku from My Hero
Yes.
Academia. Number 4 is Wash from Firefly. Number 3 is Moon Knight. Number 2 is Mando. And number 1 is Clint Barton, either as
I knew
Hawkeye
it.
or as Ronan.
I knew Hawkeye'd be
Clint.
number one.
I
I
thought
knew
I
it.
thought
I knew it.
thought Moon Knight would be number 1, but I'm a little surprised.
Go ahead, Robbie.
Nah, Hawkeye's his guy.
All right, no honorable mentions here. Number 5, the Iron Giant. Number
Ooh.
4 is Superman. Number 3 is Geralt. I've been really into The Witcher. Geralt's like my dude now. Number 2 is Goku. Number 1 is you guessed it, is Batman.
Yep.
Just
You like
Batman.
Batman?
I
Just
thought you were gonna say
broad-
like 3
broad
different variations
Batman,
of the
very
Joker. in
broad.
there.
I'm Batman.
I'm not asking, just curious. But yes.
Yeah, which Batman, in your mind's eye, which Batman are you seeing?
Animated
Pick
series.
one. Jim Lee's Batman.
Oh,
Boom.
Okay, thank you.
They're all good.
Isaac, go ahead.
That's the trick question.
There's no wrong. There's no wrong answer.
Yeah,
is
right.
what I'm telling
Go on.
all right. So I have a list of honorable mentions because there were so many that I had a really hard time keeping off of my list. So I have a few honorable mentions here, no particular
Gives us
order.
20.
Dr. Gregory House, Darth Vader, Sherlock Holmes, Scooby-Doo, Bugs Bunny, Calvin and Hobbes. Those
Ooh.
are
Oh, Calvin
my
and
honorable
Hobbes,
mention. Right.
Please.
Oh, so good.
Calvin and Hobbes is 2, technically.
I mean, Calvin,
Jeez.
comma, Hobbes. Okay. Fine.
I mean, well, you
Some
need
people would
Calvin
say that-
for it to have Hobbes because it's in his mind. So you know.
Right, I was gonna say
Sure.
some people think
Good point.
Hobbes and Calvin are the same person.
Yeah,
Anyway.
House is fantastic. I love that show.
Degenerates think
House is
that,
very good.
Max.
All right, so here's my list. Number 5 is
Thank you for your
Bilbo
contributions, Mac Moose. Sorry.
Bilbo Baggins is my number 5. Grew up reading The Hobbit. Love that book so much. Number 5 is Bilbo Baggins. Number 4 is Batman. I think the iteration that comes to my mind is the animated series right away. Like,
Yeah.
man, animated series is so stinking good.
The Batman we grew up with.
Yeah, mine.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's
The
Kevin
Batman,
Conroy for
yeah,
me.
Kevin
right,
Conroy.
I think it's
Yeah.
just, but he's done a couple different things outside of the animated
Right.
series. Is what I
Yeah.
would say.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying now. I was like, well, yeah. I mean,
Does that make
it is-
sense? Yeah.
Yeah. No, I get it. Because his portrayal in the Arkham series is fantastic too. So yeah.
Yeah.
That's good call.
Right.
Good call. All right. So my number
The
3
movies, yeah.
is Obi-Wan Kenobi, best character in Star Wars. Love him to death. Number
I feel like
2.
somewhere Reformed Jedi just like perked up out of bed. and was
He's like, what? Wait.
Excuse me.
Was your number 3 fictional
Yeah.
character Reformed Jedi or was it Obi-Wan Kenobi? Okay. My number 2.
Obi-Wan Kenobi's the best Star Wars character. He
he is.
doesn't have like anything.
He's the best.
Yeah,
I love
whatever.
him.
Whatever.
All right.
It's Darth Vader, dog.
He's on my list. I thought about putting him, but he's not. Number 2 is Indiana Jones. Like one of the most like Harrison Ford is Indiana Jones. Like if it's not him in Indiana Jones is nothing. Like he is Indiana
If you
Jones.
can you, Isaac, if you have to, you can only take one. Harrison Ford as Indiana Jones or Han Solo. Which one are you taking?
I take Indiana
MFK.
Jones. Absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think I would take Han Solo.
Think you? I think
love
I
Han
agree with
Solo.
Indiana Jones because Harrison Ford doesn't even like Star Wars. Like,
I like.
I think that
I love Han Solo as a character as well, and he plays an amazing Han Solo. But like, he is Indiana Jones. Like, he made those movies.
Right. That's fair.
Yeah. So Indiana Jones is my number 2. My
Jarrett,
number 1.
Jarrett, you're making a face. Jarrett, what's your take? You're making a face.
What's your face, Jarrett?
Sour lemon.
Just mad?
I would throw Han Solo over Indiana Jones any day, specifically because Indiana Jones has so many bad movies. Han Solo has no bad movies. Are you
there's
gonna
a Han
hold on?
Solo movie called Han Solo?
Okay,
I don't
Yeah, I
think
was
Solo
gonna
is
say the Han
bad,
Solo movie.
but I
Harrison
don't.
Ford wasn't in that.
Never.
Han
good.
Solo has one.
It's not very good. Han Solo is in that.
Han Solo has one.
Sorry,
movie.
okay.
Indiana Jones
Harrison
has
Ford is not in that movie.
4.
Okay, but are we talking?
I love it. Steve.
Is his fictional character Han Solo or is it Harrison Ford?
You said Harrison Ford has
As
one,
Indiana Jones, like if
as
there's
one or the
Yeah,
other. You pick.
Okay.
It's Harrison Ford as Han Solo every time
What an
because
interesting debate. That's a
Throw-
good debate.
throw Han Solo Harrison Ford Han Solo versus Crystal Skull Harrison Ford Indiana Jones. Tell me
Okay.
those.
Survived
tell
in
me
a
those are
nuclear
equal.
explosion hiding in a fridge. So check
And
yourself.
he's like 65 or something at that point too. So yeah.
Your big dumb face, Han Solo.
I grew up watching the Indiana Jones movies, and they are very influential and nostalgic to me. So Harrison Ford as Indiana Jones will be the character that I pick of Harrison Ford's every time. My
Does Han
last
Solo
one.
Fight Nazis? No.
Yeah,
End
right.
of argument.
Yeah, exactly.
Never mind.
My number one, to nobody's
You're right.
surprise, is Spider-Man, obviously. So
My man.
Wait, you like Spider-Man?
What?
that's what I've heard,
You like-
that I like Spider-Man.
Shocking. Shocking.
What is it about
Shocking
Spider-Man?
top five.
Like, just name one thing. I
Oh
don't.
gosh, do I have to? I
Come
mean,
on.
if we're going to be talking about Spider-Man, we're
What's
going to be
your
on
top
here.
five
Morales,
things
Miles
you like
Morales or
about
Peter Parker Spider-Man?
Peter Parker,
Spider-Man.
616.
You
Or
know
is
your
it
top
Spider's
five
Man?
Spider-Man movies.
Spider's Man?
Animated
Yeah.
included.
Riley.
Can we
Spider's
get
Man.
top 5 Spider-Man?
Top 5 Spider-Man. That would be an
Flashback.
interesting list.
Isaac,
Okay.
we have gone 2 hours and 20 minutes. Do we want to do a giveaway before we close out the show?
Yes,
Sounds like
I
we
think
got
we would
20 more
love to.
minutes to
I'm going to
beat the
hand it over
record.
to Mark because he is going to do this. Unless you want me to do the actual drawing, Mark, and you're just
You
You're
do the
handing the
drawing.
reins
'cause I
over to
don't-
okay. All right. So
Mark.
I
It's
don't
this
know what to
one.
do with
You do
this.
So explain what we're giving away
Mark, go.
first, and then I'll do the rest of it.
We are giving away a Funko Pop, and it is a Taskmaster Funko Pop.
Oh my gosh, can I enter?
I was like,
Taskmaster.
hold on, let me get to it open.
I want it.
I have the OG.
All right. So we are going to do another giveaway. This one is you just have to be active in the chat for the past 15 minutes. All right. So if you guys want in,
we should do everybody. We should do everybody that's been on today.
I can only go 15 minutes. I wonder if we, let's see.
Could we look at everybody and then do like put them in a randomized
could.
like wheel and then do
We
it?
could. I
think
would
that
just have
be
to
fun
announce it
honor
later.
everybody who's been here. Or do
Let's
we want to
see.
announce it? Or do we are we like married to announcing it now? I guess is my question.
I think it would be cool to announce it on stream, but yeah.
I'm gonna
We can do it,
mark
'cause, like, Scott
everybody
Hinga's
here. I'm
probably
gonna mark
not eligible.
everybody eligible right now.
Everybody.
Let's
Yeah,
see
we'll
it. Let's
see.
see if we can.
See, it's only giving me like 11 users right now, so not
That's okay.
everybody that.
Just as long as Robert doesn't win, he'll just throw it away. He'll just throw away the Taskmaster.
No, Robert's a good friend. He wouldn't throw something away he didn't want.
What
He's not
if,
a child.
Oh, shut up, Mark. Shut your mouth,
Makes
Mark.
sense.
What if?
Robert is a good.
Hey, Dopey Pandora, welcome. What if Kelly wins this pop, Mark? What then?
And she gets a smooch.
Goes into Kelly's room.
I guess it goes back to the collection.
So you're
It
saying
gets
your collection
recycled.
is your collection collectively?
Robert
as a
Robert
married
wants to
couple?
know what a Taskmaster is.
I mean, that's what marriage is basically a business partnership with love. So
Business
Mark, I would
partnership
notice.
with love.
Mark,
Okay.
go ahead and venture carefully there, Mark.
All right.
Okay, guys, we are
Hey,
going to do.
our marriage is strong. So
There's
buckle up.
there's no
boys.
rules out here at the farm.
Each other.
Everything's
She's the
business.
only wife
Wild
left. I'm
West.
assuming,
Oh
so.
my gosh.
That's true.
Okay. I don't know if this is gonna work, guys. We'll see. We'll see if it works, and if it doesn't work, see.
I kind of hope Kelly wins now. I'm pulling for Kelly to win. I want to see what happens.
All right.
I really don't think it's
Everybody
fair if she.
right now.
I want to see Kelly put it on her nightstand next to her phone before.
I
she
want
All right,
goes
here
to
we
bed.
I want
go.
Christian to
3,
real quick and win,
2, 1.
and just be so confused.
Hey, no chill penguin.
No, Joe.
Justin.
Love to see it.
Hey, all right, we'll take that one. We'll take that. Justin, congratulations, man. You have won the giveaway for the Taskmaster Pop. Congratulations. Thanks for hanging out with man. You've been you were a warrior during our 24-hour stream, and you've been a warrior during this stream. Thank you so much, man.
Anything that goes to No Chill Penguin is a good day.
Amen. Amen to that. Well,
Mark will
it has
actually get that
been-
sent out. Don't
Hey,
trust
yeah,
me,
and
send
if you
it
give
to
your shipping information to the Infinity Bros ASAP, I'll probably ship it tomorrow. Yeah, that's what Robbie was saying. So
So no chill penguin.
Hold on, we
Justin.
need to. Can we just say what Dopey Pandora just commented, just so we can I really want to get this out here. They asked, I have one question. Why does one look like he lost 5 children in a divorce? And then another guy looks like he lives in a basement. And then another guy looks like he's doing a special ops mission. Also, no offense.
Who's the special ops one?
I gotta
Is
be
that Jarrett?
basement
Who's
guy.
who?
Jarrett's gotta be special ops.
Who's
Jared's
divorced?
special ops.
I think Isaac's divorced. I think
Yeah, because
Isaac's
I've got
divorced.
all my stuff right here.
Yeah,
I
think
lost all the
Isaac's
kids in
divorced,
the
yeah.
divorce.
Okay.
Probably.
Leave him be. It's been a rough day for him.
Robert says, "Congrats to No Chill Penguin. You'll receive your prize in 7 months."
Comic says, I can't disagree with Dopey Panda's comment. Yep.
So good.
Yeah, I think that's
It's a fair assessment.
Look like he lost not just he lost children, he lost 5 children in the divorce.
Lost 5.
All 5 of them.
Very
they're all
specific.
gone.
An argument could at that point be made for Robbie based on how many toys Robbie has right now.
That's
Okay,
a good point.
all right.
That's a good point.
Fair.
I really want to know who he's thinking. I'm
Yeah, if you
very
could
curious.
real quick, Dopey Pandora,
Describe-
if you could just identify us, that'd be great.
Yeah. Okay,
Identify
so
by shirt
from
color.
left to right, top to bottom. So we got
Who you
Max
were wearing
top
black.
left, Mark top middle, Isaac top right, Robbie bottom left, Jarrett bottom middle, and then Zane bottom right. So if you want to just identify who you believe is in that
Top
go
middle,
for it.
right where it belongs.
Zane is Smarty says Zane
Robert's
is
played the game
basement,
now.
Isaac divorce, Jarrett special ops. Yeah, that's kind of what we.
I think Jarrett might be special ops too with the hat backwards.
I think
I think
so,
that's
yeah.
it.
Yeah, that's what I was.
It's
Robert, you
politics.
live in the
Yeah.
basement with Zane.
I'm also literally in the basement, so it's a very accurate statement.
It's hard to argue that one.
I really feel like Zane could be all 3 of these. I really feel
I totally feel like Zane could be all 3.
So he
But I
was just
wanna know-
talking about Zane.
I just want to know which one of us is the one that lost 5 kids. That's the one I want to know. That's the one I'm dying
Who
to
wants
know.
to be that one? I don't want to be that one. Please don't be.
Because I don't either, but I think there's an argument that all 6 of us could be that person right now, and I just don't know.
Sad.
Oh man.
All
Do we
right,
know
guys.
who that person
It
is?
has been a amazing and fun episode. Thank you all, the Infinity Bros universe, to hanging with us for 50 episodes. We just got a new follow. Where did that come from? Hey, Dopey Pandora, thanks for the follow, man. We appreciate you.
Fantastic. The person who's absolutely
Great.
Absolutely, no dude.
I
No
love
dude.
it.
All right, yeah.
So
So we're
hopefully
gonna
you're
wrap
bringing
it
under the
up
bus.
here. I'm gonna list off all of the Infinity Bros here. One closing remark from each of you. All right. So Max, go for it.
Thank you for 50 episodes. We'll see you in 50 more.
Yes.
Maybe.
Mark, what do you got to say to the Infinity Bros universe?
I think it'll be less than 50 episodes before I break Max.
Is that a promise?
That's a guarantee.
The Mark guarantee. Breaking Max in 50 episodes or less. All right, Robbie, what do you got for the Infinity Bros universe?
I'm just happy to be a part of this ride. We've been talking about it for way more years than just this 1 year that we've been doing it.
Right.
I'm just happy we're doing it, and we're already at 50. It's kind of insane. It's cool.
That is
It's fun.
crazy. Jarrett?
Yeah, I knew the podcast was going to be great. I think the community that's built up around it and the people we interact with on a daily basis has been something I was not expecting, and I really appreciate having you guys.
Awesome. Zane?
I'm just here so I don't get fined.
Yes. You know what? I
The
say that
fines
to
are
people at
serious.
work on a daily basis, and they just look at me with a blank stare. It's not quite as fun when you have to explain it to everybody.
You feel like such an idiot when you do that, don't you?
Yeah, I kind of do, and then I'm like, I kind of regret saying that, but at the same time, I don't.
Worth it.
And you show them the clip, and they still don't get
And
it.
they're still like, what? I don't understand. Well, Infinity
Right.
Bros Universe, it has been an amazing 50 episodes. Thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight. We appreciate all of you guys. Congratulations, Smarty and Cross and Justin, for winning the giveaways today. Oh, you know what? No, we'll do that later, Mark. We'll announce the winner of the other one tomorrow. How's that sound?
We'll do that over Twitter. How about that?
Yeah, that sounds good to me. Thank you guys again for being a part of the Infinity Bros universe. Wherever you're listening or watching, however you're listening or watching, We love that you have made us a part of your day or night or evening or whatever time of day it is. We love that you are a part of our Infinity Bros universe, of our community. If you want to be a part of that community, little bits. I'm going to throw the Discord up in chat. We just love all of the connections that we've made with people, with Cross, all of the podcast friends that we have. Man, it's just been a fun ride. Cross just cheered 65 bits. Thanks, Cross. Appreciate you, man. It has been so fun, and we appreciate all of you. So we are going to call it a night. We are going to say we love you 3000. Have a wonderful night. Thanks again for tuning in. And I'm going to transition the bumper music here while I go out. All right, bumper music is going, boys.
Infinity Bros podcast.
You can check the Infinity Bros out on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Infinity Bros. Feel free to send listener feedback at infinitybrospodcast@gmail.com.
It's actually uncanny how much you sound like him right now. Like, that's very
Wait,
good.
did Max take himself?
Did you actually make that yourself? Did you just paid yourself to do it?
I paid a dude $5 for that, and it was a good $5.
The dumbest thing we've ever done.
He sent me 10 times, 10 different days.
They're all terrible.
I don't know. I like it. It's fun.
I just love. Okay, I live for when you do our ranking system because I love to listen to from a 0